Hello, Speedrun Ragnarok. It's your girl, Leggy Starscream, back again to...
Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a wonderful run of Ultima 4 Randomizer gonna be brought to you by Squibbins as soon as they get all the pronoun icons set, I guess.
Yeah, it was working before, and then when I switched screens, it broke, so it's good now.
Woo! Anyway, why don't you take it away?
Yes, so, this is... we're a little ahead of schedule, so this is Ultima 4, Quest of the Avatar. If you don't know, the Ultima series are a really old RPG series that basically inspired things like Skyrim and any more of the open world sort of Western style RPGs. In this particular game, we're playing as the Stranger, who is destined to become the Avatar. And so while this game doesn't actually involve any like final boss or like ultimate enemies, the actual game is to become the paragon of virtue. So that's our goal. And then this is the fourth game in the series. It's not in the title here, but it is Ultima 4. We're playing on the NES. It was on the PC first. This game was ported to Japanese and then reported to English. And so there's some bad English in the game. Yeah, you're going to see. And some interesting bugs or interesting artifacts because of that port. The port to port. And then otherwise we're playing the Randomizer today, which is what Gilmock, the creator, who is here today, to talk about the Randomizer. So when we're playing, I'm going to have Gilmock sort of describe some of the Randomizer, and we could probably do that at the start, but I need the name now.
All right, I'm going to do one final refresh just in case there's any last-minute name snipes. But it looks like our name is locked in as Memes with a capital M.
All right, Memes it is then.
Are we going to be doing memes during the run?
Only memes. We can only talk in memes. That's the new challenge. Challenge run.
Okay. Nobody needs books.
I'm gonna run out of memes really quick. So
Yeah.
time will start on this. I'm controlling time, so it doesn't really matter. I don't have to say time, but like we're gonna start on this button press. That's when time starts for the run. And I'll go. So I will at least talk through this beginning part. This is a class selection. So Ultima 4 has class selection. The class is not randomized in this. I will be playing as the Paladin. It's the one I'm the most comfortable with playing for the run. It's like one of the stronger characters. So we're going to choose Honor anytime it comes up. So that's it's a very quick selection screen. And then that gets us the Paladin. So then we spawn in the world. This is sort of a weird just starting location. Interestingly enough, if you play the speedrun of this game, random RNG numbers are not ticking up in this room. This room only. And then we're off, so now we're in the world. So, you wanna...
Yeah, like when it comes to starting the game, there's really... The two probably best choices you're starting off. If you want a lot of attack power and armor stuff, you go Paladin. And if you want a lot of magic, you go with a Mage, which is Honesty. So those are your two best options for when you start in a casual run.
Alright, so this is really good news. The first shop has Manroot on the Mage shop. So we have herbs at Starter Town with Manroot, which is really nice.
The Randomizer, at least these flags, will actually not shuffle like everything in the shops, but it'll take an entire shop and shuffle where they are. So like you'll have the shop from Britain can be in some other town, or in this case we found the shop from Buccaneer's Den, which has the Manroot intrinsic.
So for the seeds that we're playing with today, one of the flags I have set is Enforce Shop. types. So what that means is, oh, we got a key. Oh, that's really nice.
That is nice.
Oh, that's gonna save us 2,000 gold. A key costs 2,000 gold, so that's a huge bonus to this run already, right at the start. It also means that we don't need to revisit tons of locations.
Yes.
So one of the seeds I have is Enforce Shop types, which means that, or Enforce Shop non-compete, which means that there is no duplicate shops in a single city. This is the guild shop, and it has the sextant. Interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and buy that by getting some money by doing combat. So let's see what our enemies are like today. Enemies are random for the seed. The sprites are the same, but you don't know what their behaviors are going to be. So these could be anything.
Wow.
I'm nuking them though, so they weren't very hard.
What do you have equipped there?
It said +1 bow, I think, is what I started with.
Wow, that is powerful.
But only leather armor. But
we got a jet seed here.
+1 bow is extremely good. So we need the sextant. So the key will get us into mini-locked locations. You only need one. And the sextant gives us the ability to see what coordinates we are on the world. Which
I have to give a quick shout out to Shamino for most epic robe in an NES game.
This is
most epic robe.
Extremely epic. We need the key or the sextant for locating 2 items. Really, we only need it for 1. But it will be useful in case we cannot find one of the 2. There are 2 quests in the overworld that will take us to items somewhere. What is our XP, by the way? Oh, it looks like we have partial
5.
Yeah,
5 virtues,
which I believe is honesty, compassion, valor, and then honor and spirituality.
If you look at the Ankh, it's like lines in the Ankh as it goes down. So like the top one is honesty, second one compassion, the third one valor. Valor is one you already have avatarhood for, and it goes down there: justice, honor, justice and sacrifice, then honor, then spirituality, then humility.
Yeah, it should be in the same
that's
order.
How you can tell what.
I have it on my tracker, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, so the spells are random, so I'm learning random spells. That was the Reflect spell.
There are spell givers throughout the game in the different towns, and the spells that they give have been randomized. This is the town of Vesper. It's actually an important town in Randomizer. You don't visit it in like a speed run, but in Randomizer it's important because it starts the fungus quest line where you get the fungus search spot. You have to talk to this fighter. And that allows Basil of Moonglow to give you the coordinates for the fungus.
Let's see. They do have chain, which is actually really good for only 600, so I think I may come and buy that, since that's going to be a very cheap purchase. I would rather have something other than leather.
Yeah, and like when you're starting off a randomizer run, it's with other randomizers, Dragon Warrior, Final Fantasy, you have to grind right away. You don't have to grind right away in Ultima. You can just kind of go around. You can explore. You can grind. You can just sort of do what you want. It's like that song. You can dance if you want to. That song. It's called the Safety Dance. So.
Oh yeah. I think it's something about leaving friends behind.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we just learned Gate, which is super
Oh
useful.
my gosh, that is really good.
So this is the Lyceum, which is normally found next to Moonglow in the base game. But it's somewhere south of Castle Britannia here. I am reading chat, by the way. Trying to. In the Ultima, in this game, we are definitely leaving our friends behind. If it's a speed run, yes. It will happen. And if we get one, they may also befall a terrible fate. Maybe. Let's see. Ooh, 22 damage. These do a lot. But they also gave me a massive amount of XP.
So tough monsters in this game. Right now the settings are 25% tough. A tough monster has their hit points, attack power, and defense power all tripled, and you get 5 times the experience for defeating them. So now 3 times, like 5 hit points is still not going to be much, but you know, the monsters in this game, they were meant to annoy you, not kill you. So we had to sort of spice it up in Rando, just to give you some challenge.
So yes, to answer your question, we are using random enemies for this. So they're whatever their sprites look the same, but the enemies themselves, their AI is randomized.
There are 14 different AIs in this game, and you know, a lot of them, I'd say about half of them just shoot you, and they're just different varieties of shooting you. One of the varieties is shooting you and putting you to sleep. That's the Gazer AI. Some of them have different spell sets. One AI casts nothing but negate, which turns off spells. Another one will cast nothing but sleep, which puts you to sleep. In fact, one of the bugs I had to fix in this game was if you get negated, if someone casts a negate in a battle and you die in that battle, the negate does not turn off. That's a bug I actually had to fix.
You will never ever, if you play the base game for the NES and you die with negate up, you will never be able to cast spells again.
Well, you won't be able to cast spells until the next battle.
Ah, yes.
That is. So, and it just became really annoying because I would die out of dungeons, and then it was negated, so I couldn't cast light, or I couldn't cast wind if I went up in the balloon. It's pretty bad. So
we just found you, in which we got a useless robe. Nothing was interesting there. So here we learned the life spell, but we're not going to use that because that's resurrection. Yeah. We also managed to find the squish spell, which is extremely useful there. And we got the coordinates 3430 for the sextant that we need to search for.
Yeah, the two main spells you want are squish and gate. Gate allows you to easily move around the world, and squish allows you to kill enemies faster.
That horse was blocking us. Did not want to let us through. Let's see what the shops here are. So this is the town of Paws.
There's 2 shops here.
Ooh, we already have the good stuff, though. Well, the wand's better. But...
So, yeah.
And what do you have? Herb shop. Alright. I'm going to go buy chain now. Yeah, this is absolutely fun, by the way, and worth checking out. It's an extremely fun randomizer. I have played this so many times now. Trying to get more people into it because I want some races and stuff going for this game.
Yeah, so we really want to grow the community. Right now it's very small, but we're rabid and excited. So.
And for anyone who's... Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I've just... Squibbins has been playing it a lot, and we've been like discovering bugs and doing all sorts of features and things. So, you know, it's a small community, but it's a very active community. So,
I'm gonna sell the leather.
So it says that, can you fight Lord British in the NES Ultima? Yes, you can. And this is what you will face. You will face a person with 255 hit points, 255 attack power, which means when he attacks you, he does 255. I'll just go explain how armor works and the damage calculations. So your character and enemies, they all have a sort of a defense rating, and what it is, it acts as a percentage. So, and what that percentage works is like it's a number divided by 256. So say you have a defense rating of 32. 32 over 256 is a little over 10%, which means that whatever damage you take, which is their attack power, gets multiplied by 1 minus your block percentage. So if you have an armor of 32, you'll take, and they have an attack power of 40, you can expect to take 35 damage about. And then the game will add 0 to 3 points of chip damage after that's done. So let's talk about the Lord British fight. When you fight Lord British, you're facing a person with 255 hit points, 255 attack, and 255 defense. So all your damage will be blocked, and the only damage you'll be able to do is 0 to 3 points of chip damage, no matter what weapon you have. That's what you're facing when you face Lord British.
And speaking of Lord British, we're here now. This is Lord British. We had to come here to level up to level 4. It will probably be only one of 2 times that we level in the run. Oh my gosh, I'm like just answering all these questions incorrectly. There we go. Level 4 gets us ships, so the ships can spawn in the world, and then when we go into the final dungeon, we'll probably level up just so we can have a massive amount of extra HP. That's about really all leveling gets us that's positive. Anything beyond level 4 actually makes the run harder on the overworld, so we attempt to stay at level 4 until we're ready to move on into the rest of the game.
One additional thing about levels is that level also determines your maximum party size. So like if you're level 2, you can only have 2 other people in your party. Once you're level 3, you can have 3 other people. But it also limits like how many people you can recruit.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's one I always forget, actually. Like, it's one that I have been bitten by many times. Oh, yeah, and so with the attacking of Lord British, the interesting thing about this is you can tell when I'm in the town, I always have the attack. I can just attack anyone. I could punch this person here or that person there. There's no... It's an Ultima series, gives you kind of just a very open-ended experience. So if you want to go around...
Yeah, you can do what you want. You can be the biggest jerk you want to be.
A +2 sword for 1500 here. I think I might try and get a few more kills to get that.
Yeah, there's an item back here in the furnace.
Rune of Honesty. So we got the Rune of Purple, by the way, at the search spot earlier for the quest line for Manry, which was in the swamp tile in the middle of the field. It's always in the swamp tile, so if it spawns in a non-swamp area, it will be pretty obvious what it is. What do we have here? Shrine of Honor. We don't have the rune.
And one thing about the fungus, that always spawns in a forest area. But forest areas are very dense. So, like, it's a forest, but forests are big. You don't know which of the many forest spots you have to search.
Yeah,
that's why you need a sextant, and Basil will tell you, where to search.
Yeah, it's actually... I've almost never found the forest item just sitting in space anywhere.
One more note about levels. These ships, these pirate ships that you see at the bottom, those don't appear until level 4. So you need to get level 4 to start exploring the sea, at least on the ground.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in the ocean. Well, there's specifically 3 items in the ocean, but there could be several caves and other things that you can find, like islands with towns and stuff.
And the randomizer is actually biased toward putting things sort of on islands in the ocean. You'll notice that for those that have played the vanilla game, the balloon is normally outside of Hithloth. There's a flag in this randomizer to set the balloon next to Lord British's castle. That was sort of borrowed from Free Enterprise. So you have the Free Enterprise balloon.
So let's see. I'm just saving up some money here. I want Wait, was it? Yeah, it's 1500, so I just need one more battle. Of course, we're gonna miss the moon gates, but I'll just take a ship from here, so. It is a very nice flag. Like, it's very convenient. It also means that you kind of want to get to Lord British's castle fairly early in this game. I keep calling it Lord British's castle, but I believe that Ultima 4 and beyond called it Castle Britannia. This was the first game in which they named it.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a when you're in the randomizer, depending on the seed, depending on how the map is laid out, you might need a death warp to get to Castle Britannia, and that can sort of interfere with your grinding. So you might want to grind for all your stuff, all your herbs and gems, and anything you need for the quest before you death warp. Here we started off right next to Lord British's castle, so that wasn't necessary. It just depends on the seed.
Yeah, and there's some really interesting settings. You can craft really wildly variant seeds in this. Like, you could make one, you can turn off overworld encounters, for instance, so that you can just freely explore the world without any overworld encounters, except for ships. There will be ships, because that's necessary.
And there will be dungeon encounters.
But, like, that's a super nice sort of feature that you can, like, use to, if you want to, like, do more dungeon exploring. There's a lot of different ways you can make dungeons harder or easier. I'd kind of go with the little middle of a road for this particular seed. So you can see a lot of different things, but also so it's not wildly difficult, because seed variant times can go from anywhere from an hour to 6 hours, depending on the settings you're using. I've used these settings enough to know it takes about 2 to 2.5 hours to beat this setting. So we only really need money at this point for one more thing, which is spells for spellcasting.
Did you get the sextant? Oh yeah, yes. You did get the sextant. Okay.
We have the key, we have the sextant. All we really need and we have the best bow we're gonna get.
Yeah, it's the best bow in the game. Well, yeah. aside from the wand, which is, this character can't equip the wand, so.
No, but I could give that to Mariah, and that would be pretty powerful. I will take Mariah on as a teammate if we find Mariah. Alright, you have a boat. It's ship time. Get your ship memes in. Oh, hey, there's a town right here. We don't even need a ship maybe to get here. Alright, this is Cove. There's a spell and an item here.
An item.
Sleep.
Now, these recipes that he's getting from these spells, he's not going to actually be able to use them until he goes to Moonglow to record them in his spell book at Spells Unlimited.
And then we search here. Bluestone. Yeah, the avatar is basically limited to cast spells only, or it's to learn spells only once you visit a specific town. So that's a thing we have to do. Alright, we get some seahorses. Okay, this is the bad part about sea battles. You don't get any gold from sea battles in this game, so you almost always want to time the battle clock. I'll talk about this one. So the battle timer ticks up for the type of terrain you're on. So if you're on, I think this is, okay, yeah, Discovery. If you're on water or grass, boy. We're at the edge of the world. If you're at water, I'll let you explain that in a second. But if you're on water or grass, including deep water, they're all the same, it ticks up at the slowest rate. If you're on bushes, I believe, is the next level up. It ticks up a little faster, and then faster for dirt, and then fastest for swamp and forest.
And this battle timer ticks up even if you're not moving. It ticks up like every so many frames, a random amount.
And it will not tick up if you're on a town. So when you walk out of a town, you're standing on the town tile, it does not tick up. But you can abuse that because you know that it will tick up every about 19 to 20 seconds on the overworld. So you can just sail, and then every 19 to 20 seconds stand on the ground and get a battle for some money.
Shall we talk about the fog now?
Yes, the invisible ship. Go for it.
Okay, so
Oh, these are...
The first version, this randomizer did not had the full... The map of this game is a 256 by 256 map size. It's very large. And in the original game, it was a very large, expansive map. For Randomizer, like if you want to just do a quick experience, the large map was really a hindrance because things were really spread out. So I decided to shrink the map to a 128 by 128.
Which, by the way, just so people know, is an option. You can choose either the 256 or 128 map. We're playing on the 128.
Yeah. But when I shrunk the map, for some reason on the first 8 tiles, I was flying around on the balloon. I fixed it for the balloon, but I was able to fix it for the ships. But for the balloon, on the first 8 tiles, picture what happens to a deflated balloon in a cartoon. It's really elongated and it whips around really fast. That's literally what it looked like when I was on the first 8 tiles of the map. So I'm like, I have to fix this. It was really funny to look at, but I had to fix it. Because sometimes with the balloon you need precision landing. So I did find the fix for the balloon, but I did not get to fixing it for the sprites. So basically they're just, if you're walking around, like I said, say it's a land bridge on the first 8 tiles of the map, then you're still invisible, and we just kind of call it the fog effect, because it reminds me of a trip I made to San Francisco, where the fog would roll in, and it would completely obscure your view of the Golden Gate Bridge. It's just a fog effect.
So to answer your question, Mike the Magician, as well, you asked, what's the goal? The goal is actually to beat the game. This is unlike Final Fantasy randomizers, where you may actually set specific goals to collect different items or do different quests. You can actually beat this entire game with with specific settings in a reasonable amount of time. The speedrun for the game is 1 hour and 17 minutes, I believe. The current speedrun world record for the actual game. We just died, but that's fine. It actually gives us more money than we had. And then the goal... So... Oh no, I didn't want to level up. Oh no. I forgot that talking to them would auto-level us. Well, we're going to have harder enemies on the overworld in general now. I just wanted to get a free heal. We just made our life harder on the overworld. Go us.
Well, level 5 enemies aren't that terrible. It's when you get to level 6 and 7 and 8, that's when it really gets terrible.
Let's not make that mistake again, though.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go buy some herbs so I can get some blinks.
To answer your question, Iterant Soldier, I'm a big fan of the Dragon Warrior randomizer, and one of the motivations for this was I was thinking a lot about, in the original version, how the item in Coal, that search spot, was a really exciting moment because you had a 1 in 3 chance of getting the Erdrick's armor. It's the best armor in the game. And I thought of, this Ultima 4, Final Fantasy has a randomizer, Dragon Warrior has a randomizer. Ultima was also a pretty popular series in the NES, RPG genre. It didn't have any randomizers. So I thought, that's a really exciting moment in Coal when you're searching for that search item. And Ultima 4 has search items all over the place. Almost every town in the game has a search spot. So I could just multiply that excitement. And that's one of the motivations for this randomizer.
These pirates are being really nasty. I just want to get a ship so we can get we got +2 sword, it'll kill them in one hit, I think. So that we can just go ahead and have that without needing to grind it afterwards. Herbs. Yeah, I'm here for herbs. I'm gonna go ahead and buy a massive amount of herbs. Well, not as massive, but we have quite a bit of money, so we should be able to get it. And I want to make sure to get enough for wind, which is garlic and moss. I always forget that it's garlic and moss. As many times I've played this game. garlic. I want 50. And why do I want garlic and moss? Well, I need to cast wind. And why do I need to cast wind? Well, the only way to control the random balloon, because it will fly randomly around the map, is by casting wind. So we were going to be casting that a lot.
The balloon in this game is not the Enterprise or the airship. It's speeding things up, speeding up walking speed is something I've tried to do, and the game does not want to do it, so I'm not going to do that. But the balloon in this game, you have to use the wind spell to control it. It's not just free movement and free things. There's a cost to using the balloon.
So I'm just going to sail out into the open seas now and find... Oh, nice!
That's a search spot.
I found one of the search spots. And we got the horn, which is really nice, because that gives us access to the Shrine of Humility. I did not get enough herbs for blinks. We will need to be checking dungeon spots when we see them. There is one cave that leads to a small, little enclave of people inside that we want to find. We already checked this.
I believe in the original game called it Serpent Spine.
It is the Serpent Shrine.
It was a small cave in the mountains north of Castle Britannia that sort of looked like a spine, and it was, you had to use the balloon to get into it. So, oh look,
here's another search spot. So there's 3 spots in the ocean that we want, that we know we want. One is the shoal, the horseshoe shoal, which we just checked. The other is volcanoes. And the third that we know is out here, and it's always out here, is the Horn Island, which we just got the horn, so we're not sure what this is. But there's always an item here, so we will go check it. These Nixies are pretty rough too. Alright, what do we have here? We have Stone of Orange. So this is a custom tracker too. I wrote this tracker. I probably should have just used emo tracker or something, but I decided to write my own tracker for some reason. Bell. So to get into the abyss, we need one of 3 items. We need the bell, the book, and the candle. Well, we need one of 3. We need all 3 items, not one of 3. And we need to use them in that order, I believe. I believe it is the bell, then the book, then the candle. That's the reason I put them in the order they are on the tracker, so I can remember exactly the order they're supposed to go in. But I believe, because we are playing with fast runes, we can actually use the Shrine of Humility to jump directly into the abyss as well.
There's a flag on this in the randomizer called Useful Runes. Because I was playing as one of the settings you do is you could start off as the avatar. But if you start off as the avatar, you don't need the runes to get in the shrines to get you avatarhood. So the runes are just useless items. And I added the Useful Runes flag, and later on you'll see what that Useful Runes flag does. It puts a staircase in each shrine to various places. And for the one in Hithloth, for example, Spirituality Shrine, that takes you to the Spirituality Dungeon of Hithloth.
40.
Takes you to the first floor of Hithloth. And for Humility, the closest analog would be the Abyss. So, with the Shrine of Humility and Useful Runes, that staircase is just another way to get to the Abyss once you have Avatarhood.
So we did just get coordinates 4081, and I believe that is for fungus, right? Which one does Basil give you? It's fungus, right?
Basil gives you the coordinates for fungus.
Yeah, so we've already got the man location, so this will give us the forest location, which is one we definitely want to check out.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the Useless Island. So that shrine looks like all the other shrines, but it's just the Avatar Shrine, and it literally serves no purpose except for the starting and ending sequences of the game. It's weird that you can visit it.
It's just a location on the map that I need to put, so...
It's It is an interesting fact, though. If you enter the Abyss in this game versus... hopefully I have enough. Yes. If you enter the Abyss in the NES game, unlike the PC game, you cannot bring in your party members. That is an option for the randomizer. You can turn that on and let you bring in party members, but you can, by default, you're not allowed to bring party members, and you have to do the Abyss solo.
Interestingly enough, allowing your party members entering to the Abyss was one of the easiest flags to write. I just had to no opt-out 7 instructions that takes away your party members.
Nice.
All I had to do.
But, fun fact, that location where the Avatar Island is, when you visit that, if you leave the Abyss, your other party members will be put there. So if you come back out of the Abyss or die in the Abyss, your party members are actually in that area, in a room, as opposed to being back at Castle Britannia in, like, the hostel. I'm going to go get on the balloon now, I believe. Ooh, we get to see if sea serpents are difficult. That's a good thing to know. They are not.
Do I have a quick moment for a quick donation?
Go for it.
Of course.
We have a $30 donation from our previous runner, Madeline Himagami, that says $10 for the cave I overlooked and $20 for 2 deaths is good measure. Thank you for having me, Valkyries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're gonna start just sailing. This part is like probably the least interesting part, unless you really just like looking at maps, because there's not much you can do in the balloon other than fly.
The purpose of this is to just sort of scan the map and see what's out there without facing monsters, and you can just sort of get a nice overview of what you're looking at. You can find things, shrines, caves.
It is quite pleasant in the sense that you don't have to worry about battles during this, so it's much safer to do from the...
And the music is pleasant as well.
That is true. I'm going to try and do this right here. I like to do this when I have view. Oh yeah, it's sorry. It's really confusing too. The direction you pick is the opposite direction that you will travel, by the way. So you're actually casting the direction the wind blows from, not the direction you want to go. I believe I've already been there. Ooh, this I haven't been to. There's a lot of trees here. Definitely haven't been down here. There is a lot of trees here. Okay.
Yeah, the randomizer will for map generation, it'll generate anywhere from 12 to 15 general zones. They'll just fill like a 20 by 30 box of just that one type. So you could have zones of plains, zones of forest, zones of mountain, zones of sea. And so if you run into those, it'll just be a big thing. And that's kind of how the original map was. It had generalized region, like this is sort of a foresty region, this is a plainsy region, or this is just a big sea. The map generation also has a number of features, which is sort of smaller things, and that's how you get more variety on the map.
Is this item only available during the full moon? I wrote 4081. I think I had that right. I hope I had that right.
By the way, absolutely, Trusty, I do want to address the point about the letting it slow in the Abyss. You can set up an Abyss. There's certain flags in this randomizer where you will need your whole party to beat the Abyss. Because one of the settings for this is, you notice in Ultima as you walk around, you regain MP. There is a setting in the randomizer to turn MP regain off, at least for dungeons. And if you do that, and then you're the Abyss, and you will see that the final battle is, if you play the vanilla game, the final battle in Randomizer is very different. It Depending on how you set it, it can be very tough. So you may actually need to take your party into the abyss if you set up the flags to be super hard.
I
You want to
believe
give yourself a challenge.
this is going to be the Mandrake or Nightshade spot. It's going to be... It may actually just be vanilla. That'd be really funny if it was vanilla fungus. So we're just going to sit here until new moon, new moon.
Yeah, and so while we're sitting back relaxing, we have a $10 donation from Asmati Games with no comment, but thank you for your generosity.
Thank you, thank you.
And just to give everyone a heads up, our next run with donations incentives is going to be Resogun. We have $161 out of $350 to upgrade the run to experienced, and we have an ongoing bid war to choose the costume for the humans. We have the options of Bunny, Lemming, and Teddy Bear, none of which have any money for put towards them, so they're completely open for the taking. If you want to see any one of those three costumes, get your money in now.
Nice. I'm just learning that the armors in this game are Balron's AI, which is terrifying because there's a lot of these in dungeons usually.
Yeah, you'll find a lot of these in the abyss. Particularly floor 7 has a lot of these.
I am thankful that I forced us to play on floor 8 just because I didn't want to have an extremely long abyss for this seed, because the abyss can range anywhere from 20 minutes to like an hour on it alone. Even the last floor in Randomizer can be really tough, so I just felt like if we were going to die there, it would be safest to just be able to replay it quickly if it was one floor. It's a safety precaution.
But yeah, yes, we're waiting for double new moons.
It's fungus.
Oh, it's the vanilla fungus. Okay.
Vanilla fungus.
Well, that works.
Okay, so this is...
Magencia. We have 2 items here.
And we will get poisoned here.
Yes.
Anytime you get poisoned, by the way, the screen flashes. In the overworld, it's obnoxious because it will flash every single step. But when you're in a town, it only flashes if you're actively becoming poisoned. So we are going to cure it before we leave town so that we don't flash rapidly. It also will drain your health 1 point for every step you take in the overworld. Here, I don't think it does anything.
Why don't we go ahead and talk about like the items you need to complete the game? Like, why are we collecting these runes and stones and what they do for you?
That's a very good point. Like, most people who've never played this game probably have no clue what's going on with that. That is a very good point. So yes, let me grab this item. What do we got here? We got nothing. Okay, so this would have been... I don't think I have any empty space for this thing, so we'll just... This is nothing. That is... So right now I replaced the 2 items, I believe. One of them was the Skull of Exodus with... not the Skull of Exodus, Skull of Mondane, my gosh, with a random guild shop item. And so that was a random guild shop item. So yes, we need to become the avatar. So how do we become the avatar? Well, specifically, you need to get through the abyss. Alright, so now we are... by the way, wait.
You already have avatarhood, partial avatarhood, and honesty.
Yeah, I should have marked these.
Is this honesty? Is this the shrine you're at?
Yeah.
Okay. So to be the first step, you need to even get to the abyss, you need to become the avatar. And the way to become the avatar is to go to the 8 shrines when your virtues, when you are sufficiently virtuous, go to the 8 shrines and meditate at those shrines and gain partial avatarhood in each of the 8 virtues. Those are honesty, compassion, valor, justice, sacrifice, honor, spirituality, and humility. Those are the 8 virtues we're looking for. And you do that like by interacting with people, giving to beggars. There's various things you do to increase virtue. There's various things you do to decrease virtue. When your virtues are full, you can go to a shrine, meditate there, and get partial avatarhood in that virtue. You need to do that for all 8 virtues, and then you become the avatar. But in order to even enter a shrine, you need to have the rune of entry. So, in addition to getting your virtues up and finding these shrines, you need to find the runes to be able to enter the shrines. And that's what these various search spots the towns have. So that is the that's avatarhood. The other aspect of this is the stones. And to complete the abyss, like you can get to the abyss just as avatarhood, but to complete the abyss and beat the game, you need to get what is called the 3-part key. Which has to do with the principles of the game. There's virtues associated with love, virtues associated with truth, and virtues associated with courage. And the 3-part key is those 3 parts: love, truth, and courage. The stones, there are altars at the bottom of each dungeon. The dungeons are sort of connected at the bottom. And I did not randomize that in Randomizer. The 8th floor of each dungeon is preserved, so that the altars sort of connect the dungeons at the bottom, and you insert the proper stones to get the correct part of the key. You need 7 stones to get the 3-part key. The abyss itself asks you for the 8th stone, the black stone humility. And that is how you actually beat the game. So to get to the abyss, you need to become avatar, but to beat the abyss, you need to have the 3-part key and the black stone.
And funny enough, for this, you need each. So I guess I kind of was really focused on other stuff during this, but for each floor of the abyss, there's a specific stone you need. Since we're only doing floor 8, we only need the black stone. Assuming we don't, assuming we don't find the 3-part key somewhere else, because if we find
did you randomize the items at the altars?
Yes.
Okay, so in Randomizer, you can randomize everything. You can randomize the item you get at a 3-part key now, which means you can find parts of the 3-part key in the overworld and other places, and that's just something to perhaps make it explore a little bit faster. Perhaps you don't need it. All of the stones, just to sort of speed up stuff. Wow, those mountains are in a perfect line to sort of block entry to that other cave entrance.
Yeah, that's not a very... Oh no, I got put to sleep. I hope that it's not the gargoyles that put me to sleep, because there's a lot of those on floor 8. There's a whole room full of them. Yeah, this has a massive amount of flags. I mean, you can really customize this. You could go make it just the base game with only very, very little changes to an extremely different experience. Oh hey, here's another cave. What's here? This is shame. And there's more caves over here. This is back where Castle Britain was. But we did not go in this cave. I don't believe. Ooh, gazers. We can see what those are. That's important. I'll kill them last, just so they can attack me. They cast Reflect. Oh, I think they're demons. Alright. I'm not worried about them now. Oh, looks like we just got a raid.
Yes.
Thank you for the raid, Commander Lionheart. Leonheart. Leonheart. Let me pronounce names correctly. These are tough, though. They're not scary, but they're tough.
Uh-oh.
They do a lot of damage. They were doing for 50 something. He's really not good.
Yes. Tough monsters. They have their attack power tripled, and most armor in this game, Yoji the Monk has made the observation that quote-unquote armor sucks in this game, and it's just because of the percentage rating. You're only blocking a percentage of the damage, and it isn't until you get the Avatar armor that you actually get good armor. The Avatar armor has a rating of 128, which blocks half the damage, which is really good. The other armors have significantly less. So
interestingly enough, the Paladin, who you would think would be able to wear like the best armor prior to that, cannot wear the best prior armor to that. I believe the best armor is reserved only for the fighter.
Oh.
Alright. Oh wait, we've been here. However, I feel like I needed something here, but I don't. I'm just gonna keep flying, pretend I didn't think of anything there. Alright, go north. That's fine. Let's go north.
While we're flying around, do I have a quick moment for another donation?
Yes, you
Of course.
do.
Cool. We have a $64 donation from FedEx4 who says, "I heart you for Randomizer."
Yay! Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Let's see. I believe so. I'm just going to again be scanning the map like this because this is one of the more effective means of actually finding things in the world. We have a bunch of runes now, though, so we can actually enter some of these dungeons and get some items. Sacrifice. We need this one.
Yes.
We have now became partial avatar in Sacrifice. Whoops.
So we should have 6 virtues now. The randomizer allows you to start you off with partial avatarhood in any number of the 8 virtues, including a random number. So, if you want to sort of shorten your playtime, you can do that by just starting off with some random. You can start as Avatar. You can do what you want.
That is correct. Anytime you see me stopping, I'm taking notes, by the way. Oh, we got scale. That's used to get an item. It's one of the only quest items, I believe, in the game. What is our... Oh, we have a ton of money. Oh my gosh. I should go buy some more herbs now. We can stack up on herbs at this point. And I know where to do that.
So I've got another quick donation.
Alright.
From Eggplant Wiz, who says, "I played Ultima 4 for hundreds of hours as a kid. It's nice to see people still showing it some love after all these years to the point of making a randomizer for it. Put this towards Runner's Choice. So you've got $50 to put where you want."
Oh no, I didn't actually select something beforehand. I forgot about that aspect. I'm always never prepared for Runner's Choice. I will find something, but I don't know what.
All right.
How about this? I'll give it to you. You can put it somewhere.
Okay, I'm just going to put it to the next open incentive, which is the Resogun upgrade to experienced incentive, and that'll put us at $211 out of $350.
Nice.
Sound good?
That sounds great. Thank you. Alright, so I'm just going to buy a bunch of herbs here. I'm going to look at my numbers here. So I need 90, 90, 50, 40, 60, 90, 90. So 9, 9, 5, 4, 6, 9, 9. Alright. I forgot the numbers already, but that's fine. Like, we'll do it. This is a long time to like do all of this because you just have to like do one at a time. I don't think we're gonna be able to buy all of them either. We probably don't have enough money for it. But
now you'll notice that this shop person is asking you to count the money because they're blind. Now you can shortchange this person, but you will lose virtue and you will lose avatarhood and any virtues that being honest toward shopkeepers and things get you. I believe those virtues are honesty, justice.
There's a few actually: spirituality,
honor,
humility,
and so it's in general. If you lose virtue, you have to gain your virtue back via virtuous acts, and then go back to the shrine and meditate again. It's just a real time waste to sort of get this wrong. So you just have to be careful not to get it wrong.
So we are going to be...
Manner is using the squish spell, so you need some of that. It's also using the gate spell.
I did run out of money before then. I tried to cut a couple short, but it wasn't quite enough. But we can come back for more man rate. We will get that before the end of the run. And I don't believe it's used in Blink, right? Because that's the one I really care about right now. Silk Weapon Moss, we're good. There's no way to heal here, by the way. Though now, I should go to the inn. I bet I can just go to the inn.
Mr. McDelvin, your question about Tremor, it's for the randomizer. In randomizer, it's kind of dependent on the seed. In the original game, what you wanted to do is you wanted to time your Tremor spells so that it hit all the enemies on the screen for massive damage. With a randomizer, with the tough monsters, a lot of the monsters you fight will actually block a lot of that tremor damage, so no, it is not as useful. Yeah. And there are other strats to get through really tough battles.
So tremor was actually used in the speedrun up until Masama, I believe, changed the sort of metagame for the run. So what ended up happening after that was that we shifted over to using Squish instead of Tremor. And the reason being is because Tremor is random. The Taz can take advantage of who it's targeting and how much damage. It will do a lot of damage, but it can either target no enemies in the room up to all of them. So for us, that's for speedrun, that can be really bad, obviously. So for the speedrun, we switched over to using Squish, because that was kind of the new metagame that came by. So we use Squish instead, because Squish does a flat percentage damage, no matter what the health is. So if they're really high health, it still does a massive amount of damage. Oops, that's not the way I wanted to cast. There we go. Oh, there! Finally!
One of the byproducts of the map generation algorithms, it creates what I call our global warming towns. So Dragon Warrior Randomizer, you have your spark over bridges. This has your global warming towns, which is just a town surrounded entirely by water. And this means that it couldn't find an island to place the town on, so it had to create its own little island. Because there are two towns that need to be out at sea. If it couldn't find an island to place it on, then it just does it.
Now I have actual spells, I'm going to start doing actual real casting on these enemies, since I have herbs and I can actually do that. The Squish spell is an NES exclusive. There are 4 NES exclusive spells, and that is one of them. I think Jinx is one of them as well. I don't remember the other 2. Might be Reflect. Ooh, Buccaneer's Den.
Bucky's Den.
I don't think there's anything I need to buy now, though. It's good to check, but there are no items here that we need. So this is just a town for shopping. But we have all the items that we possibly need, and we know where the best herb shop is. So I think at this point it's pretty much... yeah, there's nothing here. I'm not even going to check the other one. I know it's armor shop, but I'm gonna get avatar armor at some point, I'm sure, from the rando search spots, so I won't worry about it. Alright, so let's get back on the balloon. Oh no! Let's get back on the balloon. And go. I don't even know how long we've been running for. 56 minutes? And we have, oh, quite a lot of items, actually. So we're actually making pretty good pace, I feel. I'm not particularly worried at the moment, then, if we're less than an hour in and we have that much filled up on our stuff. So. Oh, this is a little tiny cave. Is this... Come on, Serpent Spine. Nope. We've yet to find Serpent Spine.
You found deceit. It was a deceitful dungeon.
The main goal of the randomizer for this is beat the game.
Wow, there's 2 over there.
So there is no... yeah, I'm going to sail back down and get my ship, I think. There is no sub-goals, so the main goal is to beat the game. But to beat the game, as we were saying earlier, has some sub-conditions, depending on the status. So for us, we know... There are things we know we need to beat the game. There are 4 items guaranteed that we need to beat the game. The 4 items are the Black Stone, and the Key of Courage, Key of Love, and Key of Truth. Those are guaranteed. Now the other items depend on what may or may not be at the altars. Like if we can't find if we can't find those 4 items in the overworld, then they're probably going to be in one of those altars. The other thing that's important here is that we do need to be the avatar, which means we need to, for us, get the virtue of justice and humility, which are the only 2 left, up to avatarhood. And we can do justice when we find the Shrine of Justice, but we don't have the rune. So the rune gets you entrance to the shrine. So we have the Rune of Justice, which means when we find the Shrine of Justice, we can cap that, but we still need the Rune of Humility. So for us, the bare minimum right now, well, we just got the Rune of Humility.
We got it.
Is going to be the 3 keys and the Blackstone. Depending on the seed settings and kind of how things play out, you may need more or less items. And Stone of Black, so that's 2 of our main items right there.
This cave is all about humility.
This is
the rune and the stone.
So the Serpent Shrine cave. So we do need to find, so I know this cave is not useful. We do, however, need to find Minec again. I need to go back to Minec. And because that's where I can turn the scale in. I have yet to turn the scale in. I don't know if I get to do that. Though with Minec, we have the powerful option of just warping there. Because we can just use moon gates to get to the cities we need to go to. Of course, the moon gates can be randomized as well, but I have them fixed, so they always go to the same towns. So in Ultima, there's another thing. There's 8 virtues, there's 8 towns, there's 8 runes. They like the number 8. There's also 8 moon gates, and the moon gates, each of them is attached to a city. So like, the full moon is attached to the city of Minec. In the randomizer, you can detach that. So if you wanted to, you could have the full moon go to any of the other towns, the other major 8 towns.
What the randomizer actually does is it just randomizes the order in which the moon phases it. It'll start off at new moon, and that goes to moon glow. Interesting how moon glow has no moons visible. But what it does is it just mixes up the order of the moon gates so that you can have that setting. And if you do that, like if you say you're trying to go to Minec, right? Oh wait a minute. Do you have enough mana to cast Gate?
I don't right now.
That's a problem. Okay.
Yeah, I should be able. I will be able to do cast Gate eventually, but right now, when you become the avatar, your mana caps out at 99. But right now, it's not capped at 99. So, but yes, Mike, that would be our goal. However, just getting those items is actually very difficult. So it's not as it's easy to say just get those items, but it ends up being pretty complicated usually to find everything. Almost every seed I play, I find almost all the items. Like, not all of them, but it's pretty prevalent that you will end up playing and finding a ton of items. So this is Valor. Do you remember where Minec is? I don't remember. I kind of blanked out during that part for some reason.
Well, I believe Moonglow was next to Trinsic, sort of at the... No,
at the top was...
If you go to Moonglow, you can get Mariah to join you, and she has enough MP to cascade.
That's true. Do I have enough to buy... I almost want to just die and get my 776 gold from, like, Lord British. Let's pause. Keep going this way. I'm still scanning the map because there's certain things we haven't found yet. So this is important to just sort of scan, find, been here to deal. It's interesting, I feel like I'm paying less attention than I normally do here. And it's probably because, I'm like nervous from just doing a marathon run. You know, the standard marathon nervousness. Alright, let's cast and go north. Again, I'm just scouring the map. There's a few things we're still missing. I'll go one more. Cast wind west. Yeah, I wonder why. Oh no! The wind will just randomly change on us, so we sort of just go with it. That's Shrine of Sacrifice, I remember that. That is Shrine of Humility, which we do have the room for. Okay, I'll go there.
Is that Shrine of Humility?
It is indeed. Isn't it?
I don't know.
It looks like it is. I'm gonna assume it is and use the horn. It looks a little messed up, but it also looks like the Shrine of Humility. Yeah. The other shrines always have a bush, and grass next to it. This one doesn't.
Okay.
But for some reason it had a mountain on the northern portion, which is not supposed to be there.
Well, the Shrine of Humility is sort of defaults to opening north, but on some maps it might have to open to the side.
So here... But I know it was the Shrine of Humility because it didn't have bushes next to it. And it had the swamp. It also has that dirt U shape above it, which almost always gives it away. Yeah. Shrine of Humility is a very distinct look. Alright, so we only have one more shrine we need, which is Justice. Which I don't know if we've seen the Shrine of Justice yet. We're going to find it now, though, because I'm just going to scour until we find it, so we can become the Avatar. I'm also going to land at Elver Town and make sure that I didn't forget where Minec was. I'm sailing in the ocean. That's Honesty, I know that one. We're not sailing in the ocean, by the way. We're flying above the ocean, carefully in our hot air balloon, which you have to craft in Ultima 6. This is a huge quest line to craft this balloon in that game. I know we've passed this.
Yes, the NES version has the demons around Humility's Shrine, and that is why you need the horn to get rid of them, so you can walk in.
Thank you.
Otherwise, it just becomes this infinite spike tile that you... Like, Dragon Warrior has spike tiles, but this spike tile, you can't even get past it. It's just, you fight, you're not going anywhere.
That's a very good point. I neglected to mention that the reason I was using the horn around the Shrine of Humility is that the Shrine of Humility is surrounded by tiles that you cannot bypass without the horn. You just absolutely cannot bypass them without the horn. Let's see. What item do we have here? It is the Rune of Valor. Alright. So we have... Yeah, basically I just want to go in shrines at this point. Like any shrine I find I want to go inside of.
In vanilla, that person gives you the +2 axe, which is a weapon that only the fighter can use. It has the highest attack rating of all the melee weapons. Aside from the Avatar Sword.
And that is one of the two flags I took. I took replace the Skull of Montaigne because we're never going to use it in the run, and they replace the +2 axe, because we also will never use it in the run, and those are replaced with random guild items. One of them was a gem, which we aren't going to use in this run, but it is useful for different randomizer flags. And the last one was the key, which was super useful to find early on. This is, I believe... Oh, this is honor. Wait, we don't have the Rune of Honor? I guess not. No Skull of Mondane. Yeah, I turned it off.
Yeah.
It's not useful for the run in any way.
It's not really useful for any run. In fact, using the Skull of Mondane, you have to fill your virtues to 99%, and then meditating the shrine gives you the 100% that gives you the partial avatarhood. And there's a meme for this game of "Thou art a wimp," because there's a guy in Castle Britain that asks you, "Do you like to use the Skull of Mondane in town?" Which, using the Skull of Mondane in the town will kill everybody in the town.
And tank your
virtues. The Skull of Mondane, yeah. You will only lose 2 virtues, 2 of all virtues, if you use it in town. But where you really want to use it is battle, because battle kills all the enemies in the battle and you get a chest. Unfortunately, if you do that, all your virtues get dropped by 10.
Yeah, for some reason it's worse to kill enemies than it is
to
the
kill
you're
people.
trying. Yeah, the people that you're trying to protect.
With the Skull of Mondane.
Alright, so I didn't find anything here, and unless there's some weirdness with this creating... I know that's the world wrap there, so I'm just going to fly a little north. I rarely see anything generated in the world wrap.
There's probably going to be more runes down in the dungeons.
Yeah, I want to get into... I want to check the shrines. I want to find the Shrine of Justice before we go on, because I know that's out here, and we need that one. We can become the Avatar then. And that will be a very big deal. Is this Shrine of Justice? Yes! Alright, we can become the Avatar, which gives us 99 mana. Which also gives us the ability to cast Gate.
Yeah, you get 99 MP. Down here you can get the... What is this?
Oops.
You went the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah. Went in the wrong door. Gazers are tough, I remember that. So I'm going to cast Squish. Oh, I don't have enough MP. Oh yeah, it takes 23 mana to cast Squish. We don't have 23 mana. So I will just attack everything else, since the Gazer seems to be just spamming.
Oh, Reflect.
Yeah, it's just spamming Reflect. Which means I can't do ranged attack the turn after. It's random on how many turns after it blocks.
Yeah, random. Reflect is 1 to 4 turns it lasts. And other spells like Sleep is 1 to 4 turns. North.
Oh, I think this is one of my favorite. No, there's one of these. Yes. I cannot grant you the stone. Leave this place. Open the box. This was a bad mistranslation.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the candle. I guess that was actually normally needed too. You do need the Bell the Book to Candle to get into the Abyss. I guess we, I want to go
You
upstairs.
have to walk around and get your MP back.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's gonna do. Just like walk on the overworld. Alright, cast
And,
Gate. Let's see. Where to? I think this goes to... Do I need Mariah now? I guess I don't need Mariah, actually. What I need is money. I should just die. I think I'm just gonna die. Just purposely die. This will give us 776 gold. So the amount of gold we start with is random. So I'm just going to take a purposeful death here. And then we can go get the 2 avatar chests too. I usually, for my playstyle, I generally put off entering the dungeons until the absolute last possible moment. Because they are the hardest part of the game. So I'd rather try and find as many items in the overworld as possible. Before I enter the dungeons. Here we go. Alright. Memes is dead now. Memes are dead, by the way. You can't use memes anymore. Memes are dead.
And so with dead memes, do I have a quick moment?
Yes.
Of course.
Awesome, because I have a $20 donation from Commander Leonhardt that says, let's see an experienced Resogun run by an experienced player. Thank you.
Thank you. Also,
hey,
memes...
look, a vanilla tremor.
Memes are back, by the way. Apparently Lord British won't let memes die. So memes are back on the table.
Memes are considered to be too valorous to let go.
Oh, actually, I want to go buy some herbs. That's what I'm going to do here. No! 99 mana, that's what I like to see. So, we know where the castles that we want to go to are. There's 2 castles that have chests that only the Avatar can open, so they're locked before you become the Avatar. Now that we're the Avatar, I'm going to open those 2 chests. And at that point, the only items left are going to be in the dungeons. Which we have the Rune of Valor now too, so we can actually just go south to the Rune of Valor, or the Shrine of Valor, which is just south of here.
Now, Synth Pop, take that thought and remember it for when we go to the dungeon sacrifice, the dungeon covetous. Have you done covetous yet? Got that item?
Which one did I just do? I just did...
You just did wrong.
Justice, right? Then no, I've only done Honesty, Sacrifice, and Justice.
Okay. Oh, well, you've done Sacrifice and you've done Covetous.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, you're right. So we have done Covetous.
The question he asked there is, art thou one who would withhold thy blood from... thy life-saving blood to help a dying companion? And if you say yes, they say, great, get the stone.
Alright, I think that is both all of our money, basically, and yeah, we need more garlic and manroot. We're gonna have to come back here a few times, by the way, before the end. Just gonna buy 10 more of these since I'm here, and a bunch of these. Oops, that's the wrong one. I meant moss, I think. Because we cast wind a lot, so we're just blowing through these really rapidly.
Yeah, there's some text fixes. Like, let's just say when it comes to text in this game, because it was ported over from the Japanese, the compression algorithm to compress the text was also ported from the Japanese, which means when they compress the text, they use a 6-bit compression scheme that ended up not being very well compressed. Because you have all these control flags, like, text has to be in... Caps lock has to be on for it to put a space, and, like, that's a control flag that just really adds a bunch of bytes to it. So oftentimes, you'll get this text that would normally take 8 bytes to produce, that the compressors will take like 10 bytes.
So we have an interesting problem here. To get any of the altar keys, we need the Stone of White. We don't have the Stone of White. So, like, it's rapidly running out of locations where the Stone of White could be. Not sure where it's going to be. Probably in one of these dungeons. Most likely. Oh, I don't need to do that.
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
Right, up. What do we have here? So, Valor.
Oh, here's a fun one. Dost thou flee from level at face of danger? Yes!
Open the box.
Take the stone.
Alright, the Avatar Sword. We can use that. So I'm going to take note here. This is Valor, right? Yeah, Valor. I'm just making sure that I have notes here to say what I did and didn't do. This is a good idea to do that. We're going to go ahead and ready that sword. Because that's a really good sword. Sword does a stupid amount of damage. Alright, so let's go back to... what town was nearest to that? We'll just go here. I know where that is. So we're going to get... At this point, my next goal is to visit the other castle, which I know is directly west and or east from here. I can get the balloon back to the starting point by just entering Castle Britannia and exiting. That's a very nice feature, by the way. So you don't have to go find your balloon again in the world. I think it's directly the lowest right now. Yeah, I flew a little too far. The one stone we don't have is the one we absolutely need. Like, absolutely need it to... because we don't have the keys. Since we don't have the keys, we definitely need this stone. Alright, let's see what's in here. And then we will go... if we get the white stone here, then we can just go get the keys and they'll just be in a spot. Maybe this is going to be something like the Rune of Honor, though. It could be. We're running out of things it could be, right? It's the Key of Courage! Okay. Then, at that point, we need to dungeon drop, I suppose. So what is going to be the fastest way to do that? Oh, what dungeons can we do from this position? We've done... I'm just going to go on the balloon and fly around while I solve this mystery, because I want to think about this for a second. It's typically like a very smart thing to like plan out your dungeons before you like dive into them, knowing what ones you have to do and don't. We've done Honesty, Justice, Sacrifice, and Valor. So we don't need to do Honesty, Justice, Sacrifice, or Valor. This is Sacrifice, I believe, just double checking. That does mean, though, that the shrines we have left are Deceit. So we have Compassion, Honor. Wait, those are the only two we have left. There's no more dungeons. It's just Compassion and Honor. So it's yellow and purple. So Shrine of Compassion is Despise, right? I believe. So we're just going to land here. And I'm going to go to Lord Gracious Castle. Just walk over here. So each of the... So just like there's 8 towns, there's also 8 dungeons. Each of the dungeons is assigned to a virtue. So 8 virtues, 8 towns, 8 runes, 8 dungeons. So we know that, for instance, the Justice virtue has an anti-virtue of wrong, and that anti-virtue is also the name of the dungeon, which is wrong. It's a very wrong name. So for Honesty, it's Deceit. For Compassion, I believe it's Despise. For Valor, it's Disdain. For Justice, it's Wrong. For Sacrifice, it's Covetous. For Honor, it's... The name escapes me.
For what? For
Honor?
For Honor, it is Shame. Shame,
thank you. I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I forgetting this? And then Spirituality has no dungeon, it's Hythloth, technically. And then the Abyss is actually Humility's dungeon. So they're only actual... You don't really need to do Hythloth as a dungeon in this game. It's an interesting fact that every dungeon has 8 floors, and the 8th floor of every dungeon is connected. So as long as we go to the bottom floor of Hythloth, we can connect to every other dungeon in here.
And you'll notice that that door once we have the key in the back of Castle Britannia, there's a door that leads to a staircase that leads you all the way to the bottom of Hithloth, which connects all the altars. We don't have the white stone yet.
Yeah, I was pausing to take a second to see if I could remember which way was what. Can never remember.
I think we've done, yeah.
So we need shame and despise. That's it.
Okay, oh boy.
Alright, here
now,
we go.
Despise level 8.
But I'm going to
is
cast
a fight
X6 and come back in. I'm going to do this the smart way.
Did you randomize dungeon layouts?
I thankfully did not, because that would take hours.
Okay, yeah. One of the features in this round is you can actually randomize dungeon layouts. And what it'll do is it'll preserve the first floor and the 8th floor of each dungeon, but it will grab floors 2 through 7 of the first 6 dungeons, put them all in a bag, and then dole out the dungeons and add and remove stairs as necessary, so that you can have a randomized dungeon experience if you'd like. But I don't randomize the Abyss or Hithloth.
So I do have the Humility Stone, that's the Stone of Black. I'm missing the Spirituality Stone, the Stone of White, which is necessary to use all 3 of the altars. Which we need that. In fact, we don't need the Rune of Honor, but we do need the Stone of White at this point, because there's not enough search spots left to check without the keys, I think. I'm pretty sure we're just down to those. One of them is going to be Mandrake Root, isn't it? Some spot coming up is going to be Mandrake Root.
Oh, did you search the New Moon spot?
Oh my gosh, I didn't. Thank you. There's like a spot on the overworld that I totally missed. Well, we'll get that after this. I thought about that too.
It's an easy spot to forget.
I thought about that earlier too. I was like, oh, I should probably check that. And I went to Moonglow and then was like, why am I at Moonglow? Like, I totally forgot. Wait, what? What did I? Oh yeah, I said yes. A fool. This is an interesting room. I know that that thing is deadly, so I'm gonna attack it first. So we have a +1 bow, which means we just don't really move a lot. A difference between the PC game and the console game is that ranged combat in the PC game is only done on axial aligned attacks. However, in the console game, they made it to where you and enemies can attack on diagonals.
You can actually turn when you attack, so it actually allows for 360-degree ranged attack.
So in the console version, ranged attacks are supreme. They are like the best thing you can do. So we will be doing that a lot, as you've noticed already. So we're gonna see what's in here. See what's in here.
And notice that randomizers usually bump the golden experience amounts. I only bump the gold amount and experience amounts for tough monsters.
So for me, we're not using random dungeon layouts, so I have the dungeons memorized, so I'm just going through the dungeons as they are in the speedrun. You can randomize these, as we were mentioning, but for now, we are not doing that, because that definitely adds a massive amount of time to the seed. However, I do like a style of play. I have played a couple seeds where I make the overworld super easy, I remove all the encounters on the overworld, and then make it to where the dungeons are really hard and complicated and there's lots to do. But for now, that is a totally different style of play. So I'm going to stick with this. Let's see, should I think I'm going to attack this one first. Do the standard moves here.
Mike the Magician, the +1 bow is the best bow in the game. The only other ranged weapon that is quote-unquote superior would be the wand, which is only available for the mage and the druid.
Yeah, so I guess that's something we didn't talk about. You can randomize whether you start with items or not. You can randomize the start item. So I did that, and it just so happened to give us a really good start weapon. It did not give us good start armor, though. So we're still getting hit pretty hard. And then each of the items that that your party members carry. So one strategy will be if you don't have a lot of good money at the beginning and you don't have good items at the start, you will usually go and take a party member on or two and then just loot their stuff from them. Like see what they have, take that off their character and sell it for extra cash. We didn't need to do that this seed because we got 2,000 gold from the beginning free, basically, by not having to buy the key, which was super useful. Alright, oh gosh, wait, which way is this way? I'm like, I know these layouts, and then I'm just like, where am I going? Wait, no, go back up. What am I doing? What are you doing? Don't do that. No. Oh, it's north. Go north. Second door on the left. Oh, this will be an easy room. Unless bats or something terrifying. Oh, they cast sleep. Something cast sleep.
Sleep lasts 1 to 4 rounds.
Alright, since they cast sleep, I am going to cast protect. So we don't die here. I believe it was the serpent that cast sleep, by the way. I'm going to try and take them out first. And then I'll deal with everything else.
Protect spell will double your armor rating for 4 to 12 turns.
It's an extremely powerful spell for like surviving. No, we haven't actually explained the hit miss chart. I could explain that if necessary. I do know how that works. So there's a hit miss table for this game. Oh, there's a hit miss table for this game. It's 255 entries, like everything else, a byte worth of entries. And I believe your dexterity, which is actually called int in this game. Int and dex are flipped stats in the NES version of Ultima 4 for some reason. But it's definitely a bug. But your dex/int will adjust your attack mischance, but we don't really adjust that in the game. We never change those stats. So for us, it's a fixed table. That table will increase. For every attack, you just go down the table into the next entry. And it just sort of starts at a random point in the entry based on your seed. For every 7 attacks, on average, you will miss 1 attack. However, it's the Rune of Honor, that doesn't do us much good, does it? However, however, the table isn't always 7, 7, 7, 7. Sometimes there's 6, and sometimes there's 5, and there's a couple of 8s. So, the attacks themselves can be... I want to die here, to be honest. Oh, wait, do I? No, I don't. So the attacks themselves can be random between 5 to 8, but on average it'll be 6 hits, and then a miss, 6 hits, and then a miss, 6 hits, and then a miss.
Stats in this game are capped at 50. And the strength stat will add... Each point of strength will add 1% to your attack rating. So if it's 50 strength, you're dealing 150% of your weapon damage. The dexterity, which is actually intelligence, determines your MP, and then as Squibbins explained, the agility determines how often you hit and miss.
Right. I forgot. We need to check the new moon spot, right? I was trying to think. I was taking a little bit of time trying to think of, like, where do I need to go? Where do I need to go? There's something I need to do. Oh my gosh. Okay. There we go. Alright. I could not, for the life of me, remember what I need to do. So there we go. We got it. How much money do we have? We should have quite a bit of money after that. Yeah. I could have got that really early in the run too. Like, really early, because that's something you just do at the beginning of the game. Let's see. We have 1,241. Our herbs are... Manroot needs up. Manroot... So, let's see. Let's get Manroot up by 40, I think. That's going to be 800. And then I think we just go with like 2020 on the others. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure we can go, let's see, garlic and moss. Moss isn't really super useful in dungeons, but we'll go 2020 on those two, and I think we're going to be good. I might even be able to go 30-30. Oh yeah, probably. I didn't actually look at how much money I have left, so... How much money do I have left? This is good enough. I'm not going to worry about it at that point. So, we have everything we need to do to get the last two keys, which I'm assuming have to be at the altars at this point. I don't know where the avatar armor is, though.
Well, we do have the 3 altars to search.
That's true. 3 altars and still the Dungeon of Honor. Is our other option. I think those are the only spots left. Wait, not the Dungeon of Honor. Sorry. The Dungeon of Compassion.
You just did Compassion.
Did I? Oh, you're right. Alright, so definitely the Dungeon of Honor then. That's the only one we haven't done. Look, that's why I take notes. Sometimes. You know, when I'm actually running by myself, like just on my stream, I don't actually take notes. I just try and memorize everything. It's actually a good habit for me to get into, because it means I rely less on like just forgetting stuff, and I force myself to remember things. But you still forget a lot of things, so it is good to take notes. I recommend it. There's a pretty good chance it's on one of these altars, yeah. Oh, it's 33, 33, 33, right? Well, it depends. I guess, yeah, there's a 50% chance, you're right. Because there's 4 item slots left. So it's on one of these 3. So it's actually a really good chance. Anyway, I'm going to search here. So this is the Altar of Love. So this is the yellow altar. This requires 4 specific things. The yellow and any colors that involve yellow. So it's green, orange, and white. And that was the Key of Truth, it looked like. I believe we exit here and go to the other shrine to go back. Now we can go to the Altar of Truth. This is the blue altar, though it's white. This one requires the blue stone, everything that requires blue. So blue, green, purple, and white. This is the Manroot spot. I'm just going to mark that off. So depending on what's here, we actually may still have to visit. I'm going to get the Avatar armor no matter what at this point, because it's just so good. And we have time, so. Altar of Courage. So this is the red one. So we have red, every color that involves red. So red, purple, orange, and white. And it's love. So then the colors are always the same. You just memorize the colors and you have it. So we have the Key of Love. We have all 3 keys. So really, I could, at this point, go directly to the end of the game. However,
there's always that elusive last item that you need.
Yeah, and for me, I want to.
You really want the armor because you don't know what you're gonna face in the abyss.
I want the armor. I really want the armor. So Shame has this interesting thing. We go all the way down to floor 7. I started here though because I know the speedrun from the top better than the bottom. I actually don't know the path through the bottom at all, but I do know the path from the bottom up, so we'll do that. And I forgot to heal, so I need to do that before we enter the room at the top. Or enter this room even. So I'm gonna cast heal twice. Not cure. Oh well. Cast heal again. Alright. So this should be. Oh, this should be it. Thank you for the. Good luck, everybody, by the way. Since you've been throwing it in chat and I haven't thanked anybody for it, I feel rude. Thank you, thank you. No, we don't want to go upstairs. We want to enter this room and kill some bad guys. Wow, there's a lot in here. Oh, hey, we get to see what dragons are, though. That's a really good tell. Oh, and... Oh, this is good. So, it's kind of nice to have random enemies in the encounter rooms because we get a sneak peek at some of the enemies we know we're going to fight on the last floor of the dungeon. And it looks like this is going to be a very hard room. I think I'm going to get... I think I should have come in here... I'm just going to cast Squish and wing it. We'll just go for it. Oh, there's a lot of high damage enemies in here. Let's try and take them out as fast as possible. So let's get rid of the Gremlin.
Ooh.
I'm going to kill this Hydra... Or not Hydra. Lizard thing. Alright, that thing needs to go. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, they missed sleep. That's good. Alright, so I'm just going to attack this. 55. Miss, thankfully. 56. Okay, we got it. We already hit it a couple times, so it's not too surprising. The Avatar Sword will chew through some enemies, thankfully, so we can get rid of that one, because I know it's dangerous. Alright, at this point, I think we're safe. Fairly certain we're okay here. So, especially since Nixies can't move. They're a water creature and they're stuck in the floor. So that is a thankful part for us. This will poison us, but we'll cure. And then I'm just going to sit in this room and heal up. It's just going to be the safest route at this point. After this dungeon, I'm assuming that the Avatar armor is here. If it's not, I'm going to be very... sad face and have no clue where it is because I'm sure we checked every other spot in the game at this point. We will go to the Abyss and we will be pushing towards the end of the run. The Abyss can take a while, so I say that it's not like going to the Abyss is a free cakewalk. It can be quite scary there. So I'm going to take a little bit of time here. I'm going to be totally fine. Yes, so that's interesting. So when you're in a room, on the overworld, not in a town, or walking through a dungeon, every step you take will generate mana. However, there's flags, as was mentioned from Gilmock earlier, that Gilmock set up, that you can curse rooms, or floors, or entire dungeons, and what a curse does is it means you cannot regenerate mana on those floors, in those rooms, or in those dungeons. It's kind of a cool thing to play with. I usually play with like 25% of them cursed, but I didn't play here with that because it actually makes the seeds very hard and can make things extremely dangerous. Go back up to floor 4. I love Squish. We're going to be casting a lot of Squish. Squishity squish squish. Alright, this room's not too bad. We know that the skull in the back is going to cast sleep. Seems to be their thing. So we're going to cast... I'm going to put fire there. I'm not worried about the gremlin. The gremlin will die. And I'm going to cause the rest of them to walk through a fire field, which is going to be useful for me. Unless... they walk behind that. Okay, there we go. I'm like, unless... that happens. The reason I do this is just in case we could put to sleep, the enemies will still take damage. And I also know they're going to walk through the fire field. We manipulate them into moving in that direction. Yeah, unless they decide to be smart. I needed to kill the squid, though, because they could have actually just walked around the squid, which would have been really bad. Oh, cast light. First person dungeons. I think it's just straight on through. Oh yeah. It's interesting because each of these rooms having different enemies throws me off a little bit. Because I'm used to this being all slimes. This is normally just a slime room filled with slimes. It is currently not a slime room filled with slimes. I am gonna just use double. Never mind. I was gonna say I'm gonna use double energy field here, but it may be smarter to cast Protect with this group, considering I'm gonna hit for 22, 24, 22, sleep, 25, 20. Oh my gosh, this is scary. I lost like 100. I lost almost 200 health in that little bit of time. Here we go. Oh, this is a scary room. This is why I think the Abyss can be very dangerous, because you never know. This could happen in the Abyss very easily. And the monsters down there could be really bad. Protect just wore off, by the way. Oh my gosh, I can't even get a chance to do anything. Alright, I'm gonna cast Protect again and hope they don't cast Sleep. Okay, what is Memes gonna do? Hopefully live. Memes can't die. We can't let Memes die. Interesting enough, Dragon Lord, one of the fun aspects of this randomizer is that you can enable bringing your entire party into the Abyss, which is a really cool feature. I have it turned off for this seed, but that is absolutely something you can set. And what's really cool about the randomizer is you can actually just set that flag. So you could just play the base game with that flag set. And you'd just be playing Ultima 4, and you could bring the party into the Abyss. That's correct, right, Gilmock? I'm not like making that up.
Yeah, that's correct.
Like, you can choose not to randomize the overworld or anything else if you want. Everything is an option, which is really cool. I really appreciate it, actually. As a super huge fan of the Ultima series, and especially Ultima 4, since I grew up on this game, I think that's just like super rad.
I'm just glad that that was a really straightforward feature to program in.
Alright, let's hope this is the Avatar armor. What are you? It's gonna be something really bad. I hope it's the Avatar armor. It is the Avatar armor. Okay. I mean, it had to be, but you never know. This was scary. We are now ready for the Abyss. And that is simply gotten by going to the base castle. At which point we will be leveling up now, because we have a massive amount of XP.
I think that's enough for level 6.
Yeah, I believe it's
and you will want your HP for the Abyss.
So it goes up, I think it's powers of 2, right? It's like 200, 400, 800, 1600, 3200, 6400, I believe. I think it goes up by powers of 2.
Interestingly enough, about doing the Abyss Rambodo, no armor, the speedrun actually does that. But in Randomizer, when you have 25% tough enemies, you really do not want to do that. Really don't.
Alright, here we go. We are now going to be entering the Abyss. But to enter the Abyss, we must find the entrance to the Abyss. Also, this is 100% seed. We found every item that there is in the game. I don't see many of those these days. Usually I at least miss something. But not this time. So now we need to find the Abyss. Fun fact about the randomizer. This is a cool little thing. The Abyss generally happens to be, in fact, I think it's always on a latitude and longitude that equal each other. So
that's actually true of the vanilla game. There's only one value that stores the when you're using the Book of the Bell and the Horn to get into the Abyss, there's only one byte that's checked, and it's checked against the same value. So that means that, that value has to be anything, but it puts the Abyss on the very center diagonal.
So so since basically the coordinates for the Abyss are stored in one number, which means that you can only put it on a diagonal. Let's find it. I think it's over here. I'm pretty sure that I scoped it out earlier as being possibly over here. Because it's definitely a... it's always a volcano entrance.
Yeah, it's a crater tile.
And I know it's not this one, because that's not even close to thing. But I'm fairly certain it's like near here somewhere.
Could be that one?
I think it's a little further.
I don't know.
I think it's this one here, actually. Fairly certain it's this one, which requires a boat. Because this is 8489, so it's definitely like...
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna go get a boat from right here. This looks like a good place to get a boat. Maybe. Oh, there's a boat. Come on, boat. Come on, ship. Nope, never mind. No! I love the Ultima series. I love the Ultima games. It's just a beloved series to me. And there's definitely some like more or less stinkers in the series, I think. But overall, it's a very good series. I love Ultima 3 and 4, mostly because these are the two that introduced me to the series. 6 is probably my favorite, but I think if I recommended to play any of them to anyone, I would recommend playing 7. Like, if you've never played the Ultima series, that is a really good game. And it probably shines, like, has the best mechanics and story from the rest of the game. Like, it's just a really, really solid game. And it's generally one that almost every Ultima fan will recommend as, like, the example of the game to play. Like, if you only could play one. Let's see. Don't play 7 on the NES, on the SNES. Okay, I take that back. 7 on the PC. If you play 7 on the SNES, I feel very, very, very sorry for you. Like,
I've also heard not so good things about 5 on the NES.
So I speedrun 5 on the NES, and it was probably one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. Like, it's we've done it on Speedrun Ragnarok before, and it was it's a great game. I'm just not. It has one music track that lasts. All right, we're in the abyss, by the way. I just want to make sure everybody knows that. It has one music track that lasts 19.2 seconds, and it loops. And the speedrun is 50 minutes. Just put that up there. Like, it runs at about 5 frames a second. And it eats one input. I think it's like... It eats one input every 60 frames. So, like, most of your input... There's always a chance that you're, like, 1 in 60 chance that your input's just eaten by the game. And you can't, like, do anything. I speedrun all but Ultima 1 and 2 right now, and I do plan on speedrunning 1, but I plan to run 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And this one, because Ultima 4, the randomizer, is really cool. So.
Like, the first Ultima I remember for the NES was Ultima 3, and that game was literally just grinding. Just get gold, get your stats, get more gold, get more stats. Then you do Exodus.
I mean,
this game, yeah.
That's the definition of the speedrun of that game. Like, it is grinding.
Well, yeah, and I've actually been asked about randomizing Ultima 3 for the NES. I just kind of look at it. It's like, I don't see enough to randomize there. So, maybe there is, maybe there's something we can do, but...
I think you'd have to, like, randomize, like, what? Like, the marks? Maybe the dungeon floors themselves?
You definitely want to randomize the order in which you get spells.
Yeah.
Because you get a spell every 5 points of int or wisdom.
I suppose the overworld itself, but like there's no like item gaining. You don't really hunt for items.
There's only 2 items on only search spots. You know, there really just isn't much. And if you
that was
if you leave in the feature, if you leave in the feature where you could just cheese Exodus by holding start and holding B so you don't attack anything, then the only battle you have to face is the floors at the end, which is like nothing.
I just lost, by the way, 500 hit points from this one room, which
ooh.
The hydras are very bad, and we have 2 hydras in the final room, so the final room is going to be a risky one. It's not going to be free.
The
next room is a random room, so it's interesting fact, since I'm playing with I'm just gaining mana right now, so I'm walking back and forth, but certain of these rooms are locked and fixed for the Abyss only. This one and the previous one are. The next room is not a fixed only Abyss. This is a floor that can appear in dungeons, and because I have random dungeon monsters turned on, this room is populated with random enemies. So I wasn't sure what's going to be in here before I got in here, but it's actually fairly decent, so I'm not too worried about it. I think every other room in here now is fixed, though. The rest of them are fixed. And the next room has a ton of hydras, so it's going to be very difficult. It's a good question, since Papa. This is the first in the series that's like that. I think the PC games were more like that than the console games. The console game here, they do diverge fairly significantly from the PC games in some ways. Like, I believe on the PC, the dungeons never go to first person in this game, right? I'm fairly certain that's a true statement. I think they're always top down. And there's a bunch of other changes between the PC and console games. And this one also simplifies like keys. I think you get multiple keys in the PC game where you only need one here. U3 has it. U1, 2, and 3 has them, but I don't remember. I'm fairly certain Phoenix 4 would know. They're writing a randomizer for Ultima 4 on the PC, I think. I'm fairly certain 4 on the PC actually does not have first-person dungeons, but I could be totally wrong. So the enemies will just take tons of fire damage here. I should be safe. I don't think anything casts sleep here.
Those hydras are gonna be bad news.
Oh, I need to cast Squish. Why am I not casting Squish? They will take a lot more damage if I cast Squish. Oh, Phoenix 4, I was asking if the PC version has first-person dungeons. I don't remember. I'm fairly certain it doesn't have first-person dungeons. But it does have first-person dungeons. Alright, I was wrong. I could not remember if it did or not. Squish! This room wasn't so bad. Ended up being okay.
We haven't seen a lot of tough monsters, so I mean, I'm just wondering if that's going to translate to a lot of tough monsters in the next battle.
The dragons and the hydras are tough, so we know there's at least 4 tough monsters in the last room.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't think any of them cast sleep, which is the scary one. That's like what you don't want, is a bunch of tough monsters like the Reapers that also cast sleep. That's super scary.
And actually, if there's one of the AIs is a Gazer AI. I mentioned before, tough monsters have tripled everything. A monster with Gazer AI only has double defense power. I kind of nerf them because the Gazer attack is just that powerful that it can just zap sleep. So it was a little too spicy, so I kind of nerfed that a little bit just to balance it a little. But yeah.
Here we go. Alright, so this room has a random number of tough enemies. We don't know which ones are going to be tough. So I'm just going to squish them at the beginning. Squishy little heads on them. So we know Mariah's tough. And then Shamino's tough, but I'm unsure on the rest of them, to be honest. So I'll just energy strats. I think we're going to be okay here, though. This room can be really random, because it can go from all of them being tough, which can take a long time to fight and be very scary, to almost none of them being really dangerous. For this seed, I chose to make them not all tough. There is a dungeon flag, or a game flag, to set dungeon monsters to be all tough, and that includes these. So they would all be very difficult.
But yeah, this energy strat is fine for when they're not tough. If they're tough, you use something very different. This strat will get you killed.
Yeah, for tough, it's better to just do protect strats and like squish.
You want to, because they will routinely hit you for 100 damage each. It's not fun. So you want to have your protect spell up. Now, for those familiar with Dragon Warrior Randomizer, there's there's something in the Dragon Warrior Ragnarok called the Swaggin Lord, which is sort of a high risk, high reward strategy to get through the Dragon Lord fight. You cast Hurt More, and it has like a 6% chance of landing, but it deals massive damage. So it's a high risk, high reward. If you're turning on tough dungeon monsters, there's a standard strat for this room, which is you cast Protect, you try to keep your Protect up for the whole battle, and just fight your way through. That's the standard strat. There is a Swaggin Lord to this room, which involves quick and not fighting them, but just going around them. You don't need to actually kill the people in this room. You just need to get to the other side of the room.
You can indeed make the 100-yard dash across the room if you really want to go for it.
However, the downside of the 100-yard dash is that you do not get to refill your MP for the next battle.
Which is
so that is the risk involved.
This is the final battle, by the way, of the game, and I believe everything in here is tough. Maybe.
The I don't know if the Reapers are tough. The Balrog might not. I don't think the Balrog is tough.
It's hard to tell sometimes for me, like, because I don't have all of their numbers memorized. So, but I'm definitely gonna start with the Balrog to get. You know what? I'm just gonna cast energy on it. Get rid of see if I can get any damage on these. Yeah. So that wasn't tough. Well, it had 16 experience, but that doesn't feel tough to me. All right, so
what was I gonna say? Protect is really good when you have the avatar armor, because of the fact that this is armor in this game is percentage based. So when you have the avatar armor, your armor rating goes from 128 to 256, and 256 will block 100% of the damage, so that enemies only do chip damage.
So Protect just wear off, but and Quick just wear off. But I think Protect cost 19 to cast? I don't actually remember.
I think it's 12.
Oh, okay, so I have that number way off.
So yeah, now they're just doing chip damage.
I should be safe here. I won't be able to cast Protect again, though. But yeah, I think we're good. I think we're pretty good, unless something horrible happens. I think we're pretty safe.
Yeah.
This was not the scariest room. This room, I think, in my last seed I played, this room had mostly characters that cast sleep, and so you just got put to sleep the entire time. And that's just enemies beating on you, and as soon as you wake up, you cast Protect and then go back to sleep. So, okay, don't answer this question wrong, Squibs. Don't do that. If you answer this question wrong, it kicks you back out and you have to do the dungeon again. Alright, we're good. That did not happen. Then we can, so we just found the Codex of Ultima Wisdom. This is almost time, by the way. We ended up much faster than I expected. We got kind of a jet seed. It ended up being a little quicker than I thought it would. Even though it had some tough moments. It's going to be an early exit. A little earlier, almost too early actually. So now we're going to need to find a run to put in here. Because we really went above and beyond on this seed. This is probably the fastest seed I've ever completed with this settings. And I've done this a run a lot. It usually goes somewhere between 2:30 to 3:15 or so. So I set an average of 2:45, and we just got something much faster. And memes becomes the avatar. Memes wins the day, everyone. There you go. And now it's cat time. No, the cat just runs off and doesn't get within range of petting, so I can't pet the cat. It's standing too far away to pet. It's just sitting over there, meowing at me. And I can't get to it. Thank you all for the GGs, by the way. Like, thank you. Oh, it says that last. I should click buttons. I'm trying to pet the cat.
So, like, the randomizer has about 3 tabs worth of options that you can just play with on and on. You can Google search for it. It takes you to my GitHub that has Ultima 4 randomizer. Just download it. It's really fun to play. There's, feel free to, chat it up and suggest bug fixes. I'm always looking for bug fixes. And new flags and things, so
yeah, just
have fun.
If you search for U4 Randomizer or Ultima 4 Randomizer or Gilmock Randomizer, you'll find it. I don't know if I can post links in chat. I'm not sure. Like, I should know that since I'm a Valkyrie. I should absolutely know that, but I forget these things very easily. I'm always forgetting everything. I'm fairly certain it's safe for me to post in there. So I'm going to post it in here to share it because I feel it's worth shouting out. So if I get in trouble for it, I don't think I will. There you go.
There's the link.
So there you go. Please download that and try it out. It's awesome. It's really fun. 80% runs to feel the time from Ultima 6. I mean, we could do it. Like, 80% is actually really short. But I haven't practiced in a while. But yeah, that's Ultima 4. The randomizer. We ended up finishing it far under estimate, but it is a randomizer. So, I mean, what do you do? Like, it's very difficult to, like, predict what's going to happen. So thank you. I don't know, like, what's next. What do we want to shift over? Because I'm technically, I think, an hour ahead. So let me go and poke the Valkyries and see what's our plan in this scenario. Like,
yeah, while you're doing that, I'll just let people know what is currently scheduled to come up next, at least. Up next, we have Crossbeats Rev Sunshine which is going to be a showcase by Kinda Nerdy Housewife. And in terms of donation incentives and bid wars, we still have that Resogun upgraded to experienced donation incentive open. We're at $231 out of the $350 needed to meet that. But we also have the Resogun bid war, which still has yet to have a single dollar put to it. You can choose a costume for the humans in the run, and you have the choices between Bunny, Lemming, and Teddy Bear for those costumes. And I don't know about you, chat, but I think all of those sound really adorable. And it would be kind of tragic if we didn't actually get one. And as a reminder, you are watching Speedrun Ragnarok, a marathon put on by the RPG Valkyries, who are an inclusive group of female and femme-leading speedrunners who all love and run RPGs. If you'd like to join their Discord, please use !Discord for the link in chat. The Discord is open to all people and all genders.
Phoenix Forest telling me to switch to live stream with Gilmock. What you will see when you code with me is me clobbering all sorts of palette entries and entering the dungeons in shrooms mode.
So I'm working out, trying to figure out what we're gonna do next. So just sit tight, like we're trying to figure it out. This being so far out of schedule has definitely bumped things around. So I'm likely going to just throw in a good run here, something. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. There's a lot I could do, but I haven't practiced much lately. We have, let's see, depending on how much time I have, I know Super Mario World Randomizer pretty well. I could throw that in. Be fairly easy to switch over to that, and I've done it many times. And I know at least I can do that in about 40-50 minutes. I can do Zelda 2 any percent, D-Rust, which I haven't done forever. Okay, so we might be able to shift over to another run. I'm just throwing out things as suggestions to see if we need a time. Most of the other Ultima runs are actually quite difficult to fill in this time without really good practice, so I'd be wary of doing that. Just because they can be quite scary.
Yeah. And while you're figuring things out, I just want to point out that in addition to being able to change costumes and whatnot, we do have a couple of incredible prizes for those of us who donate today, including the Take This official Penny Arcade heart pin, which is a Psychomancer heart pin designed by Tristan Falcon. And this lovely Psychomancer wants to let you know that you are loved and that you are not alone. We have a Kirby coaster set made by Kinda Nerdy Housewife, which is just incredibly adorable. And we have Sailor Moon Magical Accessories sun catchers made by Prof Ness, which, gosh, all of these look incredible. So as a reminder, if you donate today, you could be entered in the drawing for one of those fantastic prizes.
All right, it looks like that our best choice here is to just throw in a Zelda 2 run. So I'm going to just do a live D-Rust of Zelda 2 on the stream. I got to set up the game and everything real quick, so just give me a second as I do that, and then it won't take long. It's basically just renaming the game on the tracker here. And then we should be good to go just as a filler run. Where is everything here? I feel like I can never properly... Oh, no, because the title of the game... Yeah, here it is. Look, I'm figuring out. Gilmock, I don't know if you want to stick around for this. You can. You're welcome to. I'm not going to kick you out, but you don't have to either. So I'm not going to force you to stay around for a different game.
Well, I don't know much about the programming of Zelda 2. Like, I know the programming of Ultima 4, but...
All right. So in that case, thank you for being here. Thank you for couching. Thank you for explaining the randomizer and the details of Ultima 4. Absolutely appreciate it. It's been great having you, and absolutely thank you for creating this randomizer. It's really cool. Like, I've been really super enjoying playing.
I've been watching you enjoy it. It's
so.
Been really fun. So, thank you. Thank you. So.
All right, cool. With that, I think I'm about ready to switch over. So, yeah, I think I just click this button here, and then let's just switch over to another game. And I guess wrong thing, this, that, and then switch to this, and do this. Boom. Boom. There we go. All right, Zelda 2. So let's see how this goes. This could be pretty exciting. I'm not getting any sound on my end. I'm hoping everyone else is getting sound. I'm just gonna play as me. This is going to be a live derust. I have not played Zelda 2 in a while. So let's just hope I have skills still. And let's hope I can even remember the route. Because that's another thing. Let me open some notes real quick. I have notes for all the games I run in case this happens. I run like tons and tons and tons of games. So it's good to keep notes, everybody. Keep your notes. And here we go. Yeah, we got it. So let's go. Game is a bit quiet. Yeah, this game is quieter than the last game, so I would not be surprised. I'll adjust that upwards. And that should be better, I think. Thank you for that. And we're already off to the wrong start, by the way. Because I walked the wrong direction. Right at the start. Oh, does it say randomizer still? Oh, for the title of the actual stream. Yeah, that's probably going to be a thing, huh? Oh, healer glitch. Here's a thing where we haven't practiced this in 40 years, so let's figure out if I can still healer glitch.
Yeah, it's, I forget how many frames you have, but it's 2 fairly tight frame windows that you have to hit there.
Yeah, there's actually 2 frames. So it's 1 for each. It's 1 exact frame because it's their own subpixels. So it's 1 when they turn at the window and 1 when they turn around. Game volume's still low. Alright, I'll adjust that when I go back to the next walk here. Which I did not get the thing. Dunk. That should be better, I think. Nope, that's not the pixel. Oh gosh. Yeah, once I get this though, once you get healer glitch, you can just move on with your life. One trick that Simple Dude likes to do, this is why I think this was also actually going to take me longer, that would take me 30 minutes. The run for this is 18 and my PB is somewhere around 20. But I know that I haven't practiced healer glitch in a long time, so this part is always the toughest of the whole run, I think, to be honest. Nope. It's very difficult to do without sound, I realize, because I use the sound cue for this. So I'm kind of winging it. I'm going to exit town and come back in, just in case I broke it, because that can happen. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get the healer to not enter the door of the house. If the healer enters the door of the house, the glitch won't work. But if they don't enter the door of the house, then the door becomes a wrong warp to scene 0 of the game. And that will allow us to do a lot of other interesting wrong warps, like skipping the hammer, or skipping to the hammer. Nope. Come back! Stop running! Nope. My gosh. Nope. Oh my gosh. I said I was going to do this, but I'm just going to end up on stream doing this for 30 minutes, and you're all going to be like, what are we watching? Why are we watching Squib struggle with a glitch? That's what you're going to be doing. I'm just going to embarrass myself on stream for 30 minutes for your entertainment. So that's what we're going to do.
I mean, isn't that just what every stream is?
That's very true. That is an extreme truth. But we'll see. We'll see. Also, I'm going to need a... because I don't have Discord up in an easy-to-view method, I will need someone to either say something in here via voice or in chat, so I can see when I need to switch over. The other streamer is ready. But it could be a while. So what happens if we reach 15k? That is a good question. What does happen if we reach 15k? I don't know exactly. Again, I forget everything. I feel like I should know these things, but I don't remember.
I believe the answer is it's a secret to everyone. Oh, sorry, wrong Zelda.
No! Oh, why didn't it go in the door? It didn't go in the door, so we go back out. It is a secret to everyone. There we go. We make a new goal, and it's a secret. You don't actually know what happens. Nobody knows. Oops, all beeps. No, that's not right. I'm hitting a little too late. This is some glitch shenanigans, yeah. I haven't practiced this game in forever. We needed a filler game. And the audience wanted to see some Zelda 2, even though I haven't. They knew when josing that I said I needed to derust it. It's dangerous to do this glitch alone. I'm not getting the glitch, so I'm very sad now. How long? We've been doing this glitch for 5 minutes. Oh no. Almost. I think that was almost it. It's 2 pixels that we're trying to get to. And I usually have audio for this.
Yeah, it's always interesting to watch derust in motion.
Alright. And I believe this is 555. No, we just go. Alright. Cool. Now, doing hard combat on Bubble Bridge at level 1 with life 1 against these things. This I think I have though. I just play it safe here and I'll be okay. There we go. And I believe we want 252 here. If I'm correct, I believe it's 252 coming out of this. Could be wrong. That's not in my notes, so I'm just gonna have to hope that I have that right. I think it's 232 actually, not 252. Going down the mountain, Death Mountain in the dark. Oh no, I don't remember Death Mountain in the dark and I just died. That's not what I want to do. We'll just kill some things here. Spit. 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 I'm taking it safe. Like I said, derust. Haven't played it in a while. Take it safe. Go, go, go. Enter. Do the back pedal. Fight the invisible enemy. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 hits. Do that. Oh. Wait for the bat. Words of encouragement, yes. Always a good thing. And we died twice, but that's fine. I can die there. Not the best to die here. As long as we don't die getting the hammer. Oh gosh. Please take attack. Yeah. Alright, I think we're good now. Ah. And this enemy should take less hits now. 7, 8. There we go. Just to play it safe. Invisible enemy here. You can kind of plunk that. Only can hit while falling, actually. You can't attack them normally. So this enemy is pretty straightforward, just whack. And one more invisible one after this. Here. I should have taken life because that's the less risky strat, but I'm not worried about dying, to be honest. So, oh, yes, that's amazing. That's exactly what we want. We can skip this and then take magic 3, and we have the right numbers. Boom. Alright, wait, I need a second controller. Where's my second controller? There we go. Alright, what do I do now? Oh gosh, what do I do now? What do I do now? I need to up A again so I can remember what to do. I don't want to miss anything. I think I go to get... yeah, what do I do? Oh, I was supposed to exit there. I wasn't supposed to do that. Oh well, whatever. That was silly of me. We wanted to, wrong warp there. So I need to go and get my my stuff again. No! Wait, do you only healer clip once in this route? That can't be right. I feel confused. Scroll the statue, do that. Oh yeah, no, okay, we're right. I'm just a little jumpy at the moment. Yeah, so, yeah, we're okay. I just get some things real quick, and then we're fine. There is a Z2 randomizer, actually. Ultima 4 Z2 randomizer. As long as they're on the same mapper, that would work. My gosh, see, this is what derust does to you. You need to, like, figure out, like, okay, what was I doing? I'm derusting, but where am I going? I don't remember. I got a hammer, I need to get the trophy and jump. So we'll get the trophy and jump. Welcome to a derust live on stream. Up A, second controller that's in an awkward spot. Get the jump spell, then we get Medicine Cave. Alright. So if we don't mess up any movement after an up A, we can basically guarantee the exact same spawns by enemies every time. So, helps us do what we need to do, which is manipulate everything, which we will be doing in a second via manipulation that I do not remember. So let's go. Oh, thank you for that update. Thank you. Oh, they both use... Oh, so it actually is technically possible if they use the same mapper. You could actually make a randomizer between these two. Alright, so we have the jump spell. Yeah, you need jump, though. And you need a fairy from the Medicine Cave to do this, this path. So, Medicine Cave is next. And I believe we also need the magic jar at the start. No. No! You don't want that. Do it again. I'm just sort of trying my best to remember. Trying my best to remember. I've done this run a ton of times, so you'd think I remember it all, but... it can be difficult when you do a ton of speedruns, especially RPGs. If you run a lot of RPGs, it can be very tricky to remember everything that you need to do. Alright, no, that's fine. Just fight our way out. Through these birds. Just get this. Even though I'm gonna up A here, so it doesn't matter. But it'll matter in here, I think. Alright, fish. So there's invisible fish in here, flying fish. Only one jumped at our face. The rest are coming from behind, so that's okay. Jump over this enemy, I remember that. Get ready for jump. Get close to this enemy. I think I messed it up. We'll see. Yep. Oh, wow, got it. Okay. We're in there. Oh gosh. Scary stuff. So now all we need is Fairy and the Magic Jar. We'll get Fairy, oh, and Downstab, which we'll get right here. We'll get Fairy, Magic Jar, Downstab, and then we can go do a bunch of other shenanigans with more glitching, which hopefully we'll remember how to do it. Just hope. Ah, okay. So it may be not possible then. Maybe hopes have been dashed. This is shenanigans percent. That is a much more accurate term, I think. Alright, Downstab, the best weapon in the entire game. Or, sorry, weapon maneuver in the game. Downstab! And we get Fairy, and then we go Healer Glitch. Oh no, and then we get a Magic Jar, then we Healer Glitch again. Yeah, free Zelda 2 run, surprise, D-Rust, live on stream. You can experience me flailing my arms as I don't remember how to play the game. But I haven't played game in months upon months. In a category I probably haven't played in a year. Probably since last, maybe February. It's the last time I had to do this. So, flailing indeed. This was my first speedrun though. Zelda 2 was my first speedrun. It was all keys category, which tends to be most people's first speedruns for Zelda 2. I think my favorite speedrun is reverse boss order though. Absolute favorite speedrun of this game is reverse boss order. Nope, we are doing a filler run right now. You have not missed anything. We are just filling in time because my randomizer ended up being 40 minutes ahead of schedule, or 45 minutes ahead of schedule. So we didn't want to like throw the schedule off too much. So it's basically like randomizer randoed and was the fastest rando I've ever randoed. So because of that, just throwing in some extra runs. So stick around, after this run will be the run you were waiting for. Rando gonna rando. Now we get to Healer Glitch Part 2, and if we do this right, this will be the last Healer Glitch of the game. We do have to do it right. It's dancing time! Oh yeah! It's the Link dance. The healer dance. And I think we'll go a little faster this time, I imagine. We can't do 5 minutes here. There's no way. Like... Oh, yeah, that right there, Dravenheart, like, that is, exactly what All Keys is. Like, All Keys is just like, I mean, I guess that happens in other ones too, but All Keys is definitely the, like, you need specific drops at specific times. So right now, Mike the Magician, we are trying to get a specific glitch where I need to get this character to turn around on one frame and then turn back around on another frame. So it's a 2-frame glitch, 2-frame perfect inputs back to back. And if I do it right, she won't enter the door. She'll walk into space. And once we do that, we can enter what we call scroll lock glitch. Which we used it for wrong warping a second ago. There we go. So I'm going to enter this first door 5 times. So that's 1. And you'll notice the game slowly gets corrupted. That's 2, because I'm offsetting my position. That's 3. That's 4. And then that's 5. And now we exit left. I believe we just do this, right? Am I wrong? Did I do that wrong? I think I did that wrong. It doesn't matter. What we need to do is, wait. What am I, wait, scroll the door. Oh no! We need to go Palace 2. So, it's fine. I'm just gonna take the longer way there. Again, D-Rust, I don't remember what I'm supposed to do next. We need the glove. Can't beat this final palace without the glove. Glove we get. Let's hope we don't softlock. This is really, really easy to softlock, by the way. So I've scroll locked the game, which means the left side of the screen will not scroll now by default. So I can quick exit most of these screens. It has a lot of other properties, which you will see here in a second. For instance, I can jump into here. I can go here. I can just teleport all around this dungeon. I can jump here and not die in the lava pit. That's very important to remember. Like, that is ingrained in my head. I can walk this way and fall down the elevator. I can fall down the elevator. I can not do that because I messed it up. I think we did fine anyway. So, okay, and now we scroll, get this, and then we scroll some more, and exit a little more, and exit, and we're out of the palace. So then we go to Lifetown. I am just trying to remember this. If I make any mistakes in these dungeons, we will softlock the game, so most likely. So I'm just doing my best to not do that. So anytime I'm in these screens where it's like glitchy, just clench your fist tight and feel the anxiety with me. Or don't. Sit back and laugh at like, why is this person doing this in front of you? So alright, so we can go, this is a invisible ledge here we can walk on. And then we're gonna try and get to Lifetown, which I believe, if I remember correctly, is go this way, and then go this way, and then we're going to do this a few times. There's one where we don't want to scroll right in, so we scroll this way, back. We're gonna quick warp through Death Mountain. Basically, we're taking the left exit becomes the right exit for us on these screens. So we can quickly just sort of zoom around this area. This next screen is the one I believe that I should not... Oh, no, this is the next one after this that we don't want to scroll at all, or you will softlock the game. Hold left, yeah. And we can skip this. We're back to where we were earlier, where the hammer was. However, special fairy time. We get to Death Mountain. Or not Death Mountain. We get to the maze. And I believe I go this way? Where do I go? Like, no, it's the other way. Okay. So, oh wait, I could have just exited, I think, the other way. I'm fairly certain I could just scroll here. No, can I? Can I just scroll here? Oh, you know what? I can just ferry here, though. Live derust. Feel the stream with me. I should not die here. That's actually really bad, because we need all the lives we can get. Wait, where's the magic jar? Did I go the wrong way? Oh my gosh. Squibs, I forgot the entire path through this entire place. I can't believe this. We didn't even need to go this way. I'm getting, like, my Z2 routes all mixed up. I think I'm doing RBO stuff when I'm supposed to be doing any % stuff. It is over here. This is where the jar is. I just needed to just walk one more tile down. No. Go figure. So then we can exit. Doing cool stuff. There's an encounter here. We scroll. We go this. We found the jar. One thing at a time. We'll remember what we're doing shortly. I'm gonna go up. And I could have used that to my advantage, but we'll just ignore it. I know this cave takes us to the swamp, which is what we're gonna try and do. Oh. I believe I actually just go through this whole room. I think. Oh no. Wait, do I just scroll lock here? Oh, I do. Yep, okay. We need a fairy pretty bad now. And at this point, it's grinding. As far as I know, it's just grinding at this point. We would really like a fairy, but so I don't die. We are supposed. All the supposing has happened. Everything is to get to Magic 5 at this point. Yeah, I don't think it's possible to remember things. Alright, I heard some sound.
Can I squeak in with a quick one?
Yes, please.
We've got $10 from Drunken Jimkata, who says, when D-Rust is still amazing.
I really want a fairy. Thank you so much for that, by the way. Both positive encouragement and for the donation. I really appreciate it. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not getting fairies, so... like... we'll just not get hit. That's our trick. Just don't get hit, everyone. Magic up. Fairy, 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 fairy! Yes! Like, alright. I mean, in a speedrun I would never take that. It's not necessary, but come on, like... we need it. That feels good. Super excited about that. Alright, so what we want here is we're gonna try and go for 700 more XP is what we need. Because there's a 500 point P bag in a cave that we're gonna enter soon, and we can just get our extra 500 to get us to 1200 from that P bag. And then we're gonna enter the Grand Palace after that. So we are doing pretty okay, I think, right now. It's a little, it's gonna come in a little longer than time, but I guess I was 45 minutes over, so I guess we have a little bit of time to spare here. I don't want to push overtime either, so I do want Valkyries to step in and say, hey look, we need to kill the run, like, if necessary.
I have poked people and told them to let me know if it is time for me to move us on over.
I don't want to die, but I'm hurting bad on life. And that's scary, because there's a thing that casts fireballs in the next room and might kill us. But we're gonna do our best to not die. That's my song about this room. Need a guitar, though. Alright, fairy it is. And magic up. We are now ready for Grand Palace. There's the fireball. There's the other fireball. I knew those were gonna come. I knew they were gonna happen. We will probably die in this room, but that's fine. Oh my gosh, we didn't die. Woo! I believe we can up A here. Up A it is. Okay, so, and now at this point it's we do this, and then we do that, and we do this. Then we do that. Then we do this. We go this way, I think. I'm just trying to remember how Grand Palace goes, so bear with me as we wander aimlessly through the dark recesses of this place. I think I got this. I think I remember this. I really like this game. I know the Zelda 2 got a lot of hate, but I really like this game. Also a game that I loved from my childhood. This room is fairly straightforward, just don't get hit. And you can just, it looks scary, but you can just walk forward there. It looks really scary, but you can just walk forward there. Okay, well, we'll just take this and go. What? Oh, no! Okay, well we have, that is the second time in the last week that word has appeared. In my presence. I wouldn't say it's a word that's common enough for that to... It feels like it shouldn't be that common. Alright, don't die, just don't die. Hit these invisible walls and don't get hit by that sword. You can tell I'm nervous because I'm just singing through everything. There is one part we will need to die in later, but it's not yet. And I'm extremely worried we're gonna die before then. I'm gonna spit the fireball. You can just walk past these if you got the skills. Alright, here we go. It's go time. Can I do this? Oh my gosh, I got it. No! Oh, no! Okay, wait. So we have one life, I think. How do we handle this if we have one life? This room is pretty wild if you have one life, by the way. Nope, alright. I get one more try, I guess, until the Valkyries tell me not to. Just to get through here. Again, just so everyone knows, we finished the Ultima 4 randomizer pretty early, for anyone joining us now. And we decided that I would just do a derust of Ultima, or Zelda 2, since I finished about 45 minutes early. So I'm just buying time. But we're almost done with the run, and I think I got it this time. But yeah, it's just a total derust. In Zelda 2, not in Ultima. Ultima was fine. Ultima was the fastest rando I've ever randoed. Words. They mean things, and I don't know how to use them, apparently. So this is, by the way, everyone, this is Ultima 2. If you've never seen it, it's the legend of the Avatar. It's great memes, as we saw in the last round. No! Oh no. Ultima search for the derust of Zelda 2. Don't you dare. Okay, oh my gosh. I was so worried it was gonna spawn there and kill me. So worried. Oh, that happens too. Oh, no! Okay. We did not get hit by the sword. Dun, dun, dun. Turns out the real Avatar was the memes we found along the way. Yes. Yes. Fairy. And we get to try this room again. Just jump over this one. You're not supposed to stab it. If you stab it, then you get attacked by the fireball. I forgot that rule, and I stabbed it the first time. But if you're in this room, just don't stab it, and you won't get hit. It was that easy. Alright, that was safe. Let's hope we can just get past this thing. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yes! Alright. I'm feeling good about that. We still have one more of those to get past, but I think we're okay. The next one isn't as hard. We'll see, though. I do have the fairy here. The next one doesn't require magic either, so... So this one is, can be scary. You just have to make sure you don't get hit by the sword beams, and you should be alright. Alright, I think we're gonna be pretty safe. So we're gonna death abuse here. Bonk. And I hope I don't mess this next one up. I believe we just jump here, and then we go back, and then we go this way. And then it's the fifth one? Yeah. Wait. Did I do that wrong? I didn't do that wrong then. No, I did that right. Okay. Because there's the big bot here and we're gonna almost get hit. Yeah. Okay. We're good, we're good, we're good. We're almost at the end. Alright. There's another thing here. I need to jump at a very specific point. It is right here. Let's hope that worked. Yay! Okay, cool. And I do it again right here. And... Did it work? Did it work? Final boss time. Alright. We did it, everyone. We made it to Darklink. Now we just have to beat Darklink. Then I'm clearing the screen. That's why I'm pressing start a lot. Let's do this. Darklink go. I'm gonna cheese Darklink, by the way. Darklink can jump on us, and if they do, it's a 2-hit kill. I'm fairly certain if they jump on us twice, we die. So, but we're just gonna cheese them. I'm not gonna try and fight them for real. That's not in the D-Rust. Oh yeah, there we go. We did it! That was a really bad time, but for me, actually not that bad of a time in general. We did it! Yay! Thank you, everyone.
Yay!
That was a D-Rust of Zelda 2 that I haven't played in who knows how long. Are we still ahead of schedule?
At this point, we're a little bit ahead of schedule, but I think I'm gonna have to go ask. We're playing that game of, oh gosh, I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm not equipped to make decisions.
I'm gonna go and ask in the restreamer chat, because I think that's gonna be the place that I need to chat. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you all so much, by the way. Like, it's been a pleasure doing runs for you. I got super nervous before Zelda or Ultima. I always get super anxious before runs, even though I do this all the time. Like, but it was really fun. And I'm actually kind of glad that we got to finish and I got to do this goofy, embarrassing thing afterwards. Because it was also fun. Like, always a pleasure, and I really appreciate everyone here. I'm one of the more silent Valkyries, I think, like, because I have a lot of anxiety, and like doing group things can be really scary to me, but like this is always super fun, and it's for a really good cause. So thank you all for your donations too for this event, because it's been really, really awesome. Like, I can't believe we're like at the numbers we are already, so like... Alright, it looks like we're probably about ready to switch over. So, I'll just wait for the queue for people to tell me. But it sounds like we're almost there. Just gonna give it a moment. So, meanwhile, if there's other things we can read, maybe we should talk about the Take This stuff?
Yeah, I was just thinking that myself. So, as you all know, this is Speedrun Ragnarok. We are raising money for Take This, which is a mental health nonprofit whose main mission is to inform the gaming community about mental health issues, provide education on different disorders and prevention techniques, and reduce the overall stigma around mental illness. Take This has the motto of HERE, which stands for Hope is Healing, Each Person is Unique, Respect Your Journey, and Every Accomplishment is a Victory. Take This exists to let people know that it's okay not to be okay. No one is alone in their struggles with mental health, and there is always hope for improvement.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Take This has traveled to different conventions such as PAX, MagFest, and TwitchCon to reach out to the gaming community about mental health issues via informative panels. And since many marathons have gone virtual this year, Take This has taken note and opened AFK Online, a moderated Discord server that has been specifically designed to offer peer-based, non-therapeutic emotional support to attendees. You can visit takethis.org for more information and a link to the server.
So it looks like we have some Bid War's coming up too, right? Resogun still has some options left.
Yeah, we're still looking for any donations for people who want to choose the Resogun costumes for the humans. It's wide open. Any donation will be in the lead right now. No matter how small. If you want to see the humans in a bunny costume, in a lemming costume, in a teddy bear costume, the choice is yours. And additionally, speaking of Resogun, we're still about $120 away from upgrading that run to Experienced. I'm not familiar with the game, so I don't know what that means, but it sounds like it's going to be a blast. We're also at $542 out of the 777s needed to make one of the RPG Valkyries learn the Alph speedrun.
That's gonna be amazing.
Speaking of, we had a donation just come in from Drumbordist who says, I vote for Natara. Or maybe Yaga. He's totes a Valkyrie, right? Shrug.
Nice. I mean, kind of like honorary in a way. I mean, they help so much. Definitely shoutouts to Yaga, because like Yaga has done a lot of behind the scenes work for us here. Absolute shoutouts.
Also, Chad is saying that you really do want that run to be upgraded. The Experienced run is so much better. And I'm going to believe the runner on that one.
So, yeah, I mean, there's so many good things. Like, there's so much cool stuff.
Right?
I'm looking at, yeah, I'm just scrolling down the list now, too, because I need to refresh. It's hard to memorize everything in here, so it's good to, like, just scroll through and look. It's gonna be... There's so much cool stuff left. I can't believe it's only Thursday. Like, we have 2 full days.
Yeah, and, like, there's already been so much incredible content from every single runner and every single showcaser. I think, once again, I want to make sure that I plug that we've got specific prizes for today, including the Take This official Penny Arcade Heart Pin, a Kirby coaster set donated by Kinda Nerdy Housewife, and Sailor Moon Magical Accessories Suncatcher set donated by Prof Ness.
I think it looks like they're setting up. I am seeing here we have this detail. I think then because they're about to set up, I may shift over to the depends. Like, should we shift over to the like screen thingy, the transition screen? Like,
well, let's just chill out, give people some music. And if more stuff comes in, I'll be sure to read things off. Scala says go for it, so.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna shift this over. But first, because the comms will cut when I do that, I want to just thank everyone again. This has been super awesome. I absolutely loved it. It's just really, really fun. Wait, did I select the right run? Oh no. I hope I have it. Yeah, cool. Like, it's been super fun. U4 Randomizer. I really wanted to share that with people, just because I want more people playing that game. I would love to see more runners and players. It's just really cool. And then I will definitely help people if anybody has questions about that. And then it was fun to do Zelda too. So, but thank you everyone, and enjoy the rest of the marathon. I'm gonna like chill out now.